game. With all of that in mind, we're going to put a marker right here for our amazing archivist, Dragon Raider X, to keep our VODs spick and span and up to snuff. Tab over to the screen and we're going to get started. Our heroes have arrived in Waterdeep for spring break. Well, most of them. Anyway, Lawrence Parnassus, who lives here, has a job trying to get into a guild as a metalsmith, has spent the last 4 years in Waterdeep, but his friends decided to come and meet him for spring break and met in a tavern called the Yawning Portal, where adventurers are wont to gather. The Yawning Portal, so named because it leads to Undermountain and Skullport, a sister city to Waterdeep full of Underdark denizens, and a labyrinthine mega dungeon designed by Hellastra Blackcloak, and often the two are at ends, with Skullport sending forces up to the Yawning Portal to cause mischief, usually put down by the, let's say, heavy sword hand of the adventurers of the Forgotten Realms. After one such foray by the denizens of Skullport, the party was approached by one Volothemp Gedarn, famous author of Volo's Guide to Monsters, and many other works, who was looking for his friend, Floon Blagmar. Nobody really wanted to give the author the time of day, except for the party, who opted to help him find Floon, as Volo was A, a busy man, and B, ill-equipped to fight the darker reaches of Waterdeep and beyond. So noted because he's the one who theoretically started the attack on the Yawning Portal to begin with. In their search for Floon, they found the estranged son of the former Lord of Waterdeep, Daggelt Neverember, Rainier Neverember, who apparently looks a bit like Floon, so much so to be confused by the face. And they got him back to the Yawning Portal. He immediately left to try to go find Floon, got beaten up in the sewers of Waterdeep, rescued by Braden Coy, our sneaky boy, and the party rested for the evening with promises of meeting Rainier that evening, the next evening rather, to go down into the sewers and rescue Floon and continue on with their adventure. In the meantime, Lawrence had to go back to work, and his friends had, in securing passage to come to Waterdeep, had to bring a lot of the bits and bobs and odds and ends of their home village for Lawrence to fix up. Because, I mean, he made them. Of course he's going to fix them. You know how country folk tend to be about doing things right, as it were. And that is precisely where we fade in on this episode. We fade in right where we left off with the red-skinned, golden-haired Fire Ganassi of Embrick, Master Embrick specifically, standing over a rather cowed-looking Lawrence and Steve, the carriage boy, with all of the goods from Amber Ridge. And I believe the last thing he said was, "Lawrence, my dear boy, tell me again what precisely you agreed to do?"
And Lawrence is very, very sheepish and kind of cringing. And I offered to help fix things up while my friends were here, Master Embrick.
I see. And you took half payment up front?
Not exactly.
So, out of the kindness of your heart and the skills that you have learned from Avi and I, very well. Well, as long as it doesn't interfere with your duties for the day, the forge is yours to work with.
And
you look over at your station.
Look on us.
Go ahead.
Just Lawrence gets this relieved look on his face, like, oh, thank God, he's not going to kill me.
So, Steve starts unloading the cart and taking it over to the workplace that Embrick mentions. An outdoor forge area. It's got a furnace, it's got an anvil, it's got a couple tables, one of them has a vice in it. But it's already full of, your orders for the day, because you work hard, like you all do. Embrick and Avi's shop isn't that big, but they're cheap. So, like, the laborers will come to Embrick and Avi for, like, work, and they put you to work. Like, you're just as much a skilled hand as they are. Well, even if you don't have your guild papers yet. So, like, yeah, it's a big order. There's, like, crates full of various things scattered around the work area, and Steve just starts adding to it. And Embrick just, like, folds his arms and looks at you like, go on, get to work. You have to do everything.
And, Lawrence will very sheepishly, sort of tuck tail and, get over to the work orders for the day. And he will start moving the stuff from Amber Ridge aside real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep it separate and start getting in on the orders for today.
Okay.
Probably starting with that cookpot from the skewered dragon, because that's an easy quick fix. And
well, you have that on you. Like you brought that with you. That's not in your work order,
right?
So you start to work, and very notably, there's no like music in this scene, and we see you like kind of trudge over, and Steve helpfully wants to like work the bellows for you and be, but he's mostly staying out of your way because he doesn't know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah, and as long as he stays out of the way and doesn't screw up my work, then it's not a problem.
So do you have a tool proficiency relevant to this scene? Do you have forging tools or blacksmith's tools or...
I've got smith's tools.
Sorry?
I've got smith's tools, I've got engraving tools.
Okay, yeah, make a smithing tools check with, let's say, dexterity?
Smith's tools is operating off strength, engraving's operating off dex.
Okay, then yeah, go ahead and make it off strength, that's fine. But you have disadvantage on this roll for the sheer volume of loot, excuse me.
Yeah.
So it'll roll twice, we'll take the smaller number. Okay. So yeah, it's a lot of work, and forging is slow, right? So you have to like clamp everything in the fire, and then as it gets hot, you got to pull it out, and while it's heating, you got to do a different thing, and yeah, it doesn't take long before you've got like 8 irons sticking out of the furnace, and you've already worked up a sweat. You're looking at the work order, and it distinctly crosses your mind: how the fuck am I going to do all of this? Like, it's not physically possible.
It's not, but I have responsibilities.
Yeah, exactly. So you're just going to keep working. So
I'm going to keep going as long as I have to, because work comes first. I have my responsibilities and my pride as a smith.
Right. So the camera pans into the nearby building, the Steam and Steel building, and we see Embrick is his hair glowing slightly in the muted light of the shop, because they have a shop as well. His arms folded over his ear, and he's standing at the window. He's got the curtain pulled back with one hand, and he's looking out, just watching you. Doesn't say anything, just watching you. And then we see a blue hand reach out of the semi-darkness and put it on his shoulder, and he tenses and then exhales, and we hear a voice say, "How long are you going to make him do that?" And Embrick smiles, and he says, "Not long. The morning dew that nourishes the seed of my eternal happiness. Just enough to make him sweat." And the camera pans back, and we see Avi in, Embrick is dressed to work. Avi is in, a white, toga-style outfit. It's clasped at one shoulder. He's got blue skin. He's a Ganassi like Embrick is. He's got darker blue hair, much longer than Avi's is, or than Embrick's is, and it curls, and when it curls, it turns white. And he chuckles, and he says, "You have your ways about you." And Embrick smiles, and we see Embrick step over, and he turns the sign on the door over from open to closed, and he says, "We've made enough to take a day off, right?" And the camera pans over, and Avi's putting a leather apron on over his toga, and he says, "We're not taking a day off, Embrick." And he says, "No, of course not, but, well, the boy needs help." And Avi is picking up his hammer, and he nods, and Embrick opens the door, and they come out to help you work. and we get a scene that's, like, really interesting, because they forge in the same way that you forge. It's not like dwarves hammering metal into shape. It's not like elves, like delicate strokes. They're literally like chanting and ensorceling the forge to like heat the metal just so, quench the metal just so. They're working with the primordial elements, and I think you know the song. You've seen them do this, so I think maybe
this is not the first time, but every time they come out to help, there's a bit of Lawrence that feels ashamed because he wants to be able to do this himself.
Right,
but he's not going to turn down the help. But at the same time, it's like, am I really good enough?
Right, but I do still think that we get this really cool montage of like the three of you like singing and ensorceling and like elementally, primordially forging this stuff in a way that we haven't really like seen before. And I think I'm just gonna turn that over to you. What does primordial forging look like?
Oh, primordial forging is... Forging in itself is hot and dirty, and the heat rolls from the forge. But when Embrick and Avi get involved, it's so much more. The heat doesn't just boil, it flows. When things are quenched in the water with Avi's help, it doesn't just hiss, it just... everything is more balanced, more pure. And Lawrence doesn't have that skill.
Yes, he does. Will. Yes, he absolutely does. He absolutely does. That's why you're their apprentice, because you do have that skill. You are a pyromancer. You are born of flame.
Right. But it's not to that extent.
Not yet.
They are masters. I am not.
Still, you're probably the only one in Waterdeep who can do what they do.
Right, but it's a whole other tier of skill.
Fair.
And it's something that I have been striving towards, and there are times where, Lawrence has his doubts.
Fair enough.
But every time they come out to help, it's something special.
I think Steve just like steps back as the three of you are like singing and forging, and I think we get the time lapse shot, but instead of like panning up to the sun, it's just the lighting changes around you as the three of you like move around this forge space. Make another smithing tools test with advantage this time.
How would I do that with advantage?
Just same roll. We would take the higher numbers instead of the lower numbers.
Take the higher number. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think we get the time lapse shot. I assume you're going to be working most of the day.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Work comes first.
So we get the evening shot. We hear the crickets. The sky is starting to darken. You're covered in sweat. Your hair is like messed up. Embrick and Avi are covered in sweat, and there's two distinct piles of completed goods, and you're just like finishing as the song finishes. You guys are just finishing up, and you look up, and standing beside Steve, watching you, is Rainier Neverember.
And Lawrence would actually freeze at seeing it, just like, wait, what time is it? Oh, crap.
Because you were completely, like, lost in the song. Yeah. Like, you were completely...
When you lose yourself, you lose everything around you. It is the job and everything that goes with it. It's all about the power.
Can you make a Constitution saving throw for me, please?
Sure.
Oh, that's not the thing I want. I want this one.
Yikes.
Okay, take a level of exhaustion.
Okay.
You will have disadvantage on ability checks until you sleep. So your muscles are sore, you're tired. And the song kind of finishes. Ember and Avi stop. They see you're not working anymore. They see Rainier, and he's just like applauding in that, like, not in the noble way, in that, like, pirate way. He's got, like, one leg cocked, right? And he's clapping the middle of his hands together.
Mm-hmm.
And he nods, and he says, "Don't stop on my account." Ember steps forward, and he says, "Welcome to the Steam and Steel, Lord Neverember. This is truly a surprise. Do you have need of us? If there's anything at all we can do, we are just finishing up. I'm afraid we're closed, but we would happily get you on the commission list for tomorrow." And Rainier says, "Actually, I'm here to collect the boy." And Ember turns to look at you, Lawrence, like, "What?"
And Lawrence will wince. Just like, crap.
Avi has stepped out of the enclosure towards Rainier now, and you hear him say, like, quieter to Rainier. He says, "I'm sure whatever the boy has done," and then you can't hear the rest of it.
Oh dear.
So those two start talking, and Embrick comes over to you, and he says, "Lawrence, my dear boy, what have you done now?"
And Lawrence looks a little embarrassed. He says,
You hear Avi laugh.
And it's not so much what I've done as things I've gotten involved in. Me and my friends kind of offered to help.
Help with what?
And Lawrence nods at Rainier and says, "Apparently he's got a friend missing, and we offered to help find him."
Embrick puts his hand on your shoulder, and, like, steam comes off your leather like shoulder guard. And he smiles at you, and he says, "Well, I think you've done quite enough for today. Go on."
And Lawrence will actually stop and look at both Embrick and Avi like, "Are you sure?
Yeah, you're done.
It's okay.
You did it. Like, your work orders are done. Like, and Avi's not there. Avi's like 10 feet away talking to Rainier.
Right, but still, he's going to look between them because you have to get clearance from your masters.
True. And Embrick nods. He says, "Just remember, whatever trouble you get yourself in, you can always... Do we need to..." He leans over. "Do we need to prepare dinner for you and your friends?"
And Lawrence actually, tilts his head and thinks about that and says, "Might not be a bad idea. Thank you."
"Tonight?"
Yes, please, if it's not too much trouble.
He nods. He says, "Then a Kalimshan celebration it shall be, my dear boy." And he steps back, and he turns, and he says something in Primordial. You understand it, but Rainier doesn't. He says, "Come along, muffin," in Primordial, and Avi, like, turns and smiles, and he says something to Rainier, and they both go back inside. And Rainier comes over to you, and he says, "You look like hell."
And Lawrence looks himself up and down, just like, just another day at the fort.
"You want a bath? We're going into the sewers, but if you want a bath..."
Give me 5 minutes, I'll slowly scrub off.
"Sewers."
Right. I can at least, plan for this at least a little bit.
"Meet us at the portal when you're ready."
Right. I'll be quick. Thank you.
He nods.
And apologies for not making it this morning.
He stops when you say that, and he turns, and he says, "It's all right. I don't think Floon has what they want. But they don't know that."
then we'll just have to be quick about it.
No, it's a bit late for quick. Lucky.
Quick.
He
Well,
like taps his nose.
right.
Did you do all this yourself? He like gestures at the boxes.
Yeah, when I was younger. Well, some of it, not all of it.
Impressive. Normally, I just have a sorceress help with it, with mending. He shrugs. Though, I admit, he holds a hand up quickly, I respect artisans. It's just faster to use magic.
Faster, yes. Not necessarily better.
I never said it was.
Either way, I'll be at the portal as fast as I can.
He nods. So meanwhile, we cut back to the afternoon. We cut back to all of the nonsense at the Yawning Portal. What are you guys doing? Dare I ask? Are you guys hanging out at the portal all day?
Rocco would probably get antsy if we do, but...
suggested to explore.
I can't hear you both.
Go ahead, Dota.
On you go.
No, you go.
Okay,
Alright.
I think Braden would have suggested to the group to go and explore, but let's stay away from anything beholder look.
So you're gonna leave the
Okay.
tavern?
For a few
I would have
hours.
been looking around for that, Taylor,
So
Aye.
Rainier.
Oh, it wasn't a tailor. It was someone who hangs out in the tavern.
Gotcha.
Let me see if I can find them again for you.
I think I've got it right. Abaya, who
Obaya Uday. Yes, thank you. She's a priestess of Joaquin. She's more of a merchant than a tailor.
Right.
But, so if you're going to be out in the city, you're not going to... Because he said she frequents the tavern. Are you going to go out into Waterdeep, or are you going to explore the Yawning Portal? Or reverse that. Are you going to stay in the Yawning Portal, or are you going to go explore Waterdeep?
I mean, she's
if you
gonna
bring
stick
it
with the
on.
party for the most part, so I guess she'll put that off then and go explore.
well, probably find Abaya first.
Okay.
Get you sorted out.
So
because
you
if
hang
get
around the
noticed,
you
we're all
hang
kinda
around the
fucked.
portal for a few hours, get to know the wait staff. Is there anything anybody wants to do in that time?
I think Braden would try and get the orange smell out off of his skin.
How?
Probably.
Sakam would have been jumping from whoever seemed like a bard to whoever seemed like a bard, trying to pick up tips. And
There's a
maybe even
stage.
song
There
or
is
two.
literally a stage.
Well, anyone not on the stage, because you should never interrupt a performer while
So
he's
you're
at work.
lurking around the stairs to the stage, but you get a lot of autographs.
And after that, jumping around trying to pick up any songs from the.
Make a
from
charisma
those
saving
that might
throw.
know. Oh golly.
I wish you luck. This is actually kind of cool.
This should be funny.
I like this idea. It's
You
fun.
learn nothing.
Ow.
You are so overwhelmed with the sheer amount. Like, you're invited to like a table with like a troupe of performers. They offer you a drink in the middle of the day. They like show you like magic tricks and juggling. They play you some songs, but you retain none of it because it's just like, ah!
It'd be like a guitar player YouTuber meeting like the lead guitarist of Kiss.
Yes, exactly.
If he failed to save, would he have gotten a song stuck in his head?
He failed to save.
Yeah.
You retain none of it.
At some point, I would have wanted to take like the little pipe thing around to anyone that looks like they know magic. And like, is this magic?
Oh, you're getting.
Someone will identify that for you for 5 gold. Not
I don't have
identify it.
money.
Check if it's magic for 5 gold.
I don't have money, but I'll sing you a song.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
I hope it's high. I really
Same.
This is gonna be hilarious.
No one takes you up on that offer.
If it'll make you feel better, you can sing me a song.
And the final idea I had.
Sing us a song, oh barbarian.
I mean, you could ask Connie. You could ask Connie.
That's a thought for later.
Okay, fair.
That's just kind of Sokkum sitting there wondering what he should do now.
Do you
and
have
his eyes-
any paper in your inventory presently?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. Add a cocktail napkin with a lot of signatures on it to your inventory.
Hey, you can use those for forgery later.
True.
While Sokkum's sitting there pondering his next move, his eyes kind of drift to the stage.
So that probably takes a couple of hours.
Right.
Okay, so put a pin in that. Put a pin in that. Anybody else?
I don't think Rockham's the type to go around trying to make conversation with people. He's
So
not
what?
really.
So what are you doing?
I think after the first hour or so, he just gets clearly bored, and honestly, I think he would start recommending like we go out and at least see a couple of blocks while it's
Okay.
daytime out.
Do you stay inside the whole time?
Yeah, he doesn't want to leave the others
Okay.
behind, but it's the later we are, the longer we take here, the more obvious it is that he's bored.
Fair enough. Brayden?
In the meantime, Bren's going to take another bath.
So you're gonna pay for another bath? Oh well, no, because you have a tab. You're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you're gonna you order another bath. Do you specify not with the halfling this time?
Yes.
Okay. So you're given a bath with just like essentials. Make a Constitution saving throw. Let's see if you get the perfume off of you. You still smell
Nope.
like citrus after the bath.
Ah.
Connie, what are you doing?
Connie's keeping an eye out for the merchant.
Okay. Make a investigation or perception, whichever is higher for you.
Let's see. Definitely perception.
Okay. Does the staff know you're looking for Obaya?
Probably not, no.
Okay. Then, yeah, you don't see her. Not with that roll. So a couple hours go by. Go ahead, Sokkum.
Sock's eye kind of drifts to the stage, and he real slowly makes his way over to Dern and like,
Okay. Uh-huh.
"Can I sing a song, Dernand?"
When?
With his thumb gestures at the stage.
When?
When is it available?
He pulls out a book, thumps
Oh
it down on the
dear,
here we
bar,
go.
starts paging through it.
7 days from now.
Yeah, he likes page through
Next
it.
Thursday at
finds it.
3:20 in
And-
the morning.
No, he says Wintervale.
Ouch.
What's that?
When it gets cold and white stuff falls from the sky.
Oh. Sign me up for it.
9 months
He
later.
pulls out a pen. Name.
Sokkum Redmaw.
Writes it down. Writes a time down on it. Tears off a piece of paper, holds it out to you. Don't lose it.
Sokkum just looks at it like someone would look at.
It's like a ticket
like
stub. Yeah, it's a little ticket stub.
He'd look at it like someone would look at like a modeling contract for their first
It's
show.
not
like,
anything for you to sign. He gave you a little piece of paper that's like this
Right,
proves that.
It's
yes.
literally a receipt.
he's looking at it like this is his entrance into the big leagues, sort of thing.
Durin closes the book, puts it back under the bar. In the meantime, you're drinking?
Yeah.
Well,
Just this quick little pitter patter of his fingers. I don't know, something strong. I've had a lot of whiskey. I'm tired of it.
looks you up and down.
Oh dear.
He looks you up and
Knock
down
him the fuck out.
for a long time. And he says, "All right, make an insight check."
You're gonna get knocked on your ass. I can already tell.
Is he gonna give me gasoline?
Yeah.
It's not
Very
beyond
good.
the realm of possibility.
I was gonna say, having been in some really bad bars.
Okay, so he gives you a look that you have only ever seen from a bear when you're coming down from a tree with a honeycomb. You come down the tree, turn around, suddenly bear. That's the look Durnan gives you.
There's this brief moment of like pure concern, but
Durnan reaches for a bottle. It's like a silver metal bottle. It's unmarked. Got a black cork in it. He grabs a flagon, pops the cork out, holds it away from his face, pours it into the flagon, slams it down in front of you. He says, "I'm taking 20 dragons off your tab."
Oh no!
They're you know,
I hope none of us
sets.
hear that. I hope none of us hear that.
and
So,
it's just
so you have a
there's
flagon of this mystery liquid in front of you.
There's just this moment of, well, I'm gonna have to find a way to pay Lawrence back big time now. Turns around in the chair. Rockham, watch my back, and just down it before he can react.
Make a Constitution saving throw with disadvantage.
Oh shit!
It should
When
be
he said
good.
that, is he getting in a fight?
Mm.
Or is he just drinking?
He says, "Rocco, watch my back." Spins around. You see him grab a flagon and just down it.
I turned back to whatever it was I was doing.
Cool.
He's not
Um,
a fight, so you know.
So with that roll, you don't pass out. I have a question. Has Sokka ever been bit by a snake?
Yeah.
Cool. Imagine what Sokka imagines as a very large snake biting him in the midsection and injecting him with venom. That's what happens to your stomach.
Pain.
That's gonna be something.
All I can imagine is just this low grumble of Sokkum groaning as he hunches over, just loud as could be.
It starts to come up your chest and it keeps hurting, like roiling.
Looks sitting there with his hands on his face, just
Starts to get to the bottom of your neck.
Did you just give him a fireball potion?
Damn it, Grace.
out
Oh,
out
I
of
was joking.
thinking he was gonna throw up. Out of respect, he kind of turns away from Durnan.
What are you gonna do?
He kind of covers his mouth with
You
his
cover
hands.
your mouth with your hand.
Well, like funnel, like how you would cover your mouth to funnel it so you don't like
Oh.
splash damage, vomit everywhere,
Uh-huh.
and just kind of look at the floor.
You gotta look at the floor.
Oh no.
Okay.
I mean, if he's about to throw
So,
up.
so,
then-
so you gotta look at the floor with your hand over your mouth as this gets into your into your mouth. All right. So make a. Normally you would be immune to the save, but you're literally putting your hand in front of your mouth. So can you make a dexterity saving throw for me, please? As you realize maybe I shouldn't do this. Okay, so you're gonna take half of this.
Oh.
It's been fun having a brother in this game.
So you take 7 points of acid damage. The floor takes 15 as you just black dragon bile all over the floor. It's like hisses and starts smoking. It catches fire. The bards stop playing. Everybody looks over. Durnan is on his back. Durnan is on the ground, howling with laughter.
At this point, I'm gonna run over. If I. just
Your
make
hand
sure my
is
brother
like
isn't dead.
black and smoking and like charred.
I turn around for 2 seconds. What happened as I'm just looking at this mess on the floor?
his hand is like shaking, and he kind of looks at Rockham and goes, "You know, aside from everything that happened beforehand, that end part was kind of fun."
You're in a lot of pain. You're in a lot of pain.
Is Durnan laughing at the moment?
Yes, Durnan is laughing his ass off.
So seeing that, looking at Durnan.
So it's more of, despite the incredible pain, that was oddly fun.
What the hell did you get? Or what the hell did he give you? I'm not even sure.
Bonnie like comes over with a bucket of water and like puts out the floor, and she just like scowls at Durnan and then goes back to her job.
Like, you fucker. Durnan.
As long as you're not dying, then alright.
So does Connie even notice this, considering?
Yes,
the
everyone
awful
in the
fucking
bar
deck?
noticed the explosion. The
So
literal-
yeah, Connie's just face palming.
So, by the way, Salk, you can do that twice more on cue for the next hour.
Oh. Hey, Kit.
Yes?
Do you remember the reasoning behind Sockham's new spell?
Uh-oh.
Yes, I do.
Would the acid have come up purple?
No, because
Oh.
it would have come up green.
I just kind of found that thought funny.
So Brayden and Connie, you see Salcom just like spit, and Connie, make a nature check for me.
Okay.
This is wrong on so many levels.
It really is.
So
You've
Braden
never
turns around and looks at
personally seen Black Dragon breath weapon, but you know a breath weapon when you see one.
Dot. What did you? How did
And he hosed his
What?
own hand with it.
I?
Braden turns around and looks at it and just kind of looks enamored and then turns back and is like, if a drink can do that, I think I'll stick to whiskey.
So Connie's right into doctor mode, but at the same time, she's a little flabbergasted. Like, what the heck just happened?
Now, would Sockham know he could do that again?
Yes.
Like, is there a
Yeah.
feeling in his stomach he can do
There's a
it?
feeling in your stomach like you need to belch, but it's like you can make yourself belch.
Uh-oh.
And blocks away, Lord.
And you said
Just overcome with a sigh of relief.
I can do that twice more for an hour.
For an hour, yep. You used
Oh,
up your
let's get
entire
going now, so we
tab,
don't-
just so you know.
Yeah. So as long as you're
Now-
okay, do we want to walk around for a bit?
Sockham kind of looks at him and goes, "Well, my hand is black, but that just gives me all the more reason to get a new bandage."
For reference, did he lose any health from that, or is
Yes,
it just?
he lost 7 points of health.
Does his hand look
Yikes.
okay?
No,
Like, is it
his hand
usable,
has
or is it
no.
just-
His hand has severe acid burns.
Connie,
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna try and drag him back to the table. Let's drag more shove.
Let's-
Like,
Yeah.
come on, let's go.
All right. First of all, cure wounds on this guy.
Okay. So you go to cast Cure Wounds, and Durnan just goes, "Hey!" and points at the no authorized magic sign.
We can go outside.
She stops mid incantation.
He winks. He winks at you. Yeah, he winks at you and goes back to cleaning the bar.
Right. So, cure wounds.
Yeah.
One might say this is lay on hands, but you know.
Nice.
Lay off hands.
Yeah, exactly.
Where
So
are you?
cast your spell. It's 3d8 plus your wisdom modifier, I believe.
What?
For healing? Or is it 2d8?
Cure wounds is 1d8 plus spell mod.
Oh, 1d8 plus your... Okay, well, there you go. Roll it. You do have to touch him, so... Ooh, nice roll. So yeah, so Sock, you're back to full health. The burns on your hand, like, reform and, like, glow faintly. Your fingers reset, skin grafts back on. Flex your hand a few times, back to normal.
Thank you, Connie.
Braden lets slides a thing of whiskey over to. Oh, we
Bye,
lost-
Gamsey.
Rip.
Bye, Gamsey.
Healing was too powerful. He'll be back in a minute, probably.
I
Yep,
healed him into a DC.
Yes, you did. So, what do the rest of you want to do in the meantime?
I don't know about you guys, but I kind of want to get some fresh air before Lawrence is off work.
Aye, some fresh air would be
You
nice.
have no idea when that is.
No, I don't. Could be in an hour, could be in 7. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
All I know
at
is I'm
least
done
need to
sitting
be
around here.
back Aye, we at least need to be back at sundown for Neverwinter, so...
True. Rainier said be back here at sundown.
That's fine. We don't have to go far. I just want to not be in here for a few hours.
Okay.
And I looks over at Durnan to make sure he wasn't heard. It's a bit insulting to say that, but at the same
Yeah.
time,
Durnan is chuckling to himself and cleaning a glass.
all right, cool.
So you guys want to head outside?
Yeah.
Connie,
Everyone
make
else is
another
alright with
perception check.
What?
Make another perception check.
Perception.
I was gonna say before you do tell Braden that you're looking for her as well.
Okay. Make a religion check, Connie.
Religion, interesting.
Okay. Yeah. So on your way up the stairs, it's about probably 1 or 2 o'clock by now. Like you've been hanging out most of the all the morning and some of the afternoon. It's probably 1. You're heading up the stairs, and as you do, coming down the stairs is a woman. She's Chultan, but none of you know what that means. She's got like white hair underneath a white like headscarf. She's wearing like a long dress. She's got like 5 like money pouches on her belt, and she's got the symbol of Joaquin around her neck.
Out of character, what did you say this person's name was again?
Obaya. Obaya
Obaya.
Uday.
Aya Ude. Because for some reason, the last bit of my notes didn't save last session. One second.
Yep.
Cool.
So what you want to do?
Excuse me. You don't happen to be Obaya, do you?
You just stop this random woman on the stairs as your perception is going past her?
I mean, less stop and more say it as we're passing.
Okay. Let me... Do I have a character sheet for Obaya? Let me see if I do. I do, actually. The question is, do I have art for her that I can show you guys? Because I would like to. Oh, she probably has a token. Wait a minute. Let me see. No, you go away. I don't need you. I need you. This is Obaya.
Oh,
Ooh, she's pretty.
Nice.
I was gonna say.
She's not like super young, but she's not like super old either. She's in her like late 20s, early 30s. But she's just like, for a priestess, rather opulently dressed. And she looks at you and kind of like looks you up and down. I'm gonna have her make a... Insight is off wisdom, right?
It's wisdom, yeah.
Okay. She's got pretty good wisdom. Okay. Then she stops and she looks at you. And I'm assuming you're like wearing your hood and like...
Yeah.
And you're with your brothers, yeah?
Mhm.
Then she stops and she looks at you. She looks at the 3 boys with you and she looks back at you and she says, I am.
And this is where, out of character, my brain goes blank.
Rainier had recommended you to her for a better cloak that would be able to hide you, your horns. Or something.
Right.
So I don't want to do her accent because it will be very poor if I try to do it, but she has like that, you know, that South African accent that sounds almost English but not quite?
Mm-hmm.
She has that.
Right.
I can't do it.
So she's Guy from How to Be a Great GM.
Sorry?
The YouTube series How to Be a Great GM. The host is from South Africa.
Oh, cool. So you know what I'm talking about. Like,
yeah.
Okay. So she says, I can get you many things.
I need a better fitting cloak specifically. There's been a few close calls and I don't want too much to be seen, if that makes any sense.
She's gonna make another check. Oof. You see her, like, you're covered. Like, this is not a matter of her, like, seeing through your disguise, right? But, like, you say that, and she very pointedly looks at your waist. You see her, like, she doesn't move her head. You just see her eyes go, zoop, and then back up.
In the can you pay me sense, or in the...
In the, like, there's something around your waist that you want to hide. In the area of your waist that you want to hide, I should say.
Tail. I think she, like, pokes out the tip of her tail from under her shirt.
The only reaction from her is that her eyes open just a little bit wider. Not in, like, oh my god, in, like, ah. Right?
Yeah.
And she nods. And she says, the one you have is a bit small.
More so I was hoping for something that could better keep this in place, just kind of like tugging on her hood.
She nods. This can be arranged. But
Lovely.
she stops. I can also get you something to move freely with your head uncovered. Well,
That would be very helpful.
mostly uncovered. And you see her, like, briefly touch the symbol of Joaquin around her neck. She says, you have tithe, I assume?
Yes, how much do I need?
Ooh.
For like a better cloak. Like, she's gonna give you like a masterwork cloak that's like fitted for. She's a priestess of Joaquin. She has access to good shit.
Nice.
So for just like a basic cloak, it's gonna be 50 gold.
Mm-hmm.
For something to like give you like human form, it's going to be 200.
Ooh. Something spoiled daddy's girl. I think she'd take it.
Okay. So yeah, so she says, she says you have tithe, and you say yes, and she just holds her hand out.
She starts like pulling coins from various places on her person.
Yeah, she doesn't seem to be. Mind you, there's people waiting to get past you on the stairs.
Oh. Yeah, she would have stepped aside to let people pass.
There's not room, not for all 5 of you.
Alright, Connie, she's going to... Is she closer to the bottom or the top of the stairs?
Oh man, you caught her like at the middle edge. Albaya doesn't give a shit. They can wait. She's a priestess. But it's about you.
Alright, So yeah, Connie's just gonna be like, hold on one second, and try and scoop back down the stairs to get out of people's
Okay,
way.
make a acrobatics check. You just like
Oh, this should go lovely.
skirt down the stairs because you're messing with your cloak. You're like pulling things out of your pocket. You're like messing with your disguise.
I have a question that might make the result maybe not matter.
Go on.
Because I'm big, and if I go with her, it's, like, being agile is not going to be much of a thing.
It's not
think
about
that's
it's
the
not
size of the
about it's
stairs.
not about not being like Connie is going to get down the stairs. It's not about
Okay.
getting down the stairs safely. It's about getting down the stairs with her hood on.
'Cause, yeah, people in the city are weird, and with her being tiefling and all that.
Yep, exactly. So yeah, so you like go down the stairs, and like what about Salcom and Brayden and Rockham? Do you guys go down the stairs with her? Because you have
I would
no
say-
context for this exchange.
Yeah, she just walked off with the stranger, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, no, Obaya hasn't moved. You heard the conversation, but you have no idea who this woman is.
I would signal the others to keep going if they wanted to and go back down.
Are you gonna go
They can
downstairs?
follow if they want to.
Okay. Obaya is just standing on the stairs watching Connie, like, impassively. Like, somebody, like, tuts behind her, she doesn't even blink.
Well, that kind of defeats the point of getting out of the way then, but either way, getting out the gold, counts it up, make sure it's right.
She
Hands it off.
never gave you a price. I gave you a price. Obaya didn't. She just said, "Do you have tithe?"
Oh, I asked how much a tithe is in character.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
I should have
She's
clarified.
not gonna tell you. She's just gonna say like Joaquin blesses those who give freely.
Gotcha.
I think Rockland would ask, what's a tiv? A tithe? Is that the word?
Are you asking Obaya or Connie?
Connie. So I assume I've had no reason to hear that word before now.
So you go down the stairs with Connie. I don't know about Salcom and Braden. I'm waiting to hear from them. And Connie just like sits down at a random table and starts hastily counting out money in like almost a frenzy. First of all, she has a shitload of money, and second of all, she's just like counting it on the table. Like, and like you don't know what this is for. Like Connie could have been offered like anything.
He doesn't even know what a tithe is
back down
currently.
the stairs and just kind of stand at the side of the stairs and wait.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, take it.
Okay.
Wow, Gamzee's internet is very bad today.
Yeah.
Said the pot to the kettle.
Eh.
So
That's a lot of coin, isn't it?
Yes, it is, but I'm getting something very helpful.
I suppose. For money, I'm not gonna stop her. So.
Obaya is like gracefully coming down the stairs.
So yeah, just doing some quick math.
Yep.
Now the question is, would Connie know what a tithe is?
Yes, you rolled really well on your religion check. You know a little bit about Joaquin. Joaquin is like the god of commerce.
Let me rephrase what an appropriate tithe would be. Is it like the price of the thing, or do you have to give extra?
I don't think you have enough experience with magic items to know what the price of it would be.
Gotcha. Oh, that's
What-
frustrating.
Whatever you give her, she will give you something worthy of that. Like she's neutral good. Like she's not gonna cheat you. But
Right.
like, I think she's.
But the
neutral good.
question is, can Connie guess at what the right number would be?
Why don't you leave it up to the dice?
That's a fair point.
Make a insight check. Everything in Waterdeep runs on dragons. How much do you give her?
I'm gonna give her.
Hmm? Come on, Gracie.
How much would a normal cloak be?
Less than a gold.
So
Could
for
use
the
that as a
cloak,
starting point.
for the cloak and the magic item, I think I'm gonna give her 275.
275. Okay.
Damn.
So do you give it to her in like a pile of gold, or do you give her a bag?
I don't think she has a spare bag. Let me check.
Okay.
I can go as Sterner if you need me to. He might have a spare.
Obaya is doing that thing that like older like turn of the century, like not turn of the century, but like she's doing that thing that like our great grandmothers did when they were like our age, where she's like sitting in a chair across from you guys, not being a part of your conversation, but obviously waiting to be addressed, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she's like reclining, like she's like in charge. Very like Desperate Housewives, like that posture.
Matriarch.
Yes,
pose.
good word.
I can go see if Durnan has a spare one. He might charge us for it though.
Might?
Oh, he would definitely charge us.
Yeah, it's rock him. He's not too familiar with commerce. He probably has the basics, but
I don't have a spare pouch. I could give her my scroll case, but
I'll get up and go talk to Durnan real quick.
So you go over to Durnan. Durnan's like watching. Durnan was watching all of this because you're the most interesting thing that happened to his bar in a couple days. And he comes over. You come over and he goes, "His stomach's still bothering him."
Actually, I was wondering if he had a spare, and he makes like a pouch, like with his hands, he makes like a circle almost. If you have a spare, like coin pouch or something, we can use.
It
Or any
takes him
sort
a
of
minute to realize you're
bag.
being literal,
Yeah.
and he goes, "Not spare, no, but I
Oh.
can sell you something."
How much would that run for around here?
Takes a little leather pouch out from under the bar, sets it in the bar. He says, 2 dragons.
I'll get back to you on that, because I don't have any dragons.
yeah, I think Connie's gonna put it in the scroll case and hand her that.
Okay, so you dump it in the scroll case, and when you do that, you see one of her like manicured eyebrows raise slightly to meet her headscarf. And you hold out the
I
scroll
mean, 'cause
case.
it's a big handful of gold, you know?
You hold out the scroll. Yeah, 275. It wouldn't be denominated either because it's just from the village. So yeah, it's like in individual gold pieces. So you hand her the scroll pouch, and she looks at it, and you see her like tip it very slightly so she can see inside without moving. And then she waves her hand over the top and holds the scroll case back out to you.
That works. That's
Durnan
weird,
has
but that works.
And
Durnan has an extra pouch for 2 crowns. Wow, wrong game. 2 dragons. If you need it.
you take the scroll case back?
Yeah, I do.
She says, "You are staying here?"
That's the plan, yeah.
She nods. And she's that's it. Like she's done with you. She just like looks away.
Any word when I could get it?
She looks back at you like you just insulted her, and she says,
My apologies. Forget I said that.
and yeah, like it's not like I'm being mean about it, but she just like snaps her fingers and like gestures one of the waitresses over. Like you are dismissed.
Got it.
Shall we then?
Yes, please.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. So, I think as you turn away, Connie, she's not looking at you, but it's obviously directed at you. She says, "The rest of you is the same color?"
Sorry, what did you say?
The rest of you is the same color. It's a question.
No. Just me.
What?
Wait, I'm confused.
You showed her the tip of your tail,
Right?
and she said, "The rest of you is the same color."
Oh. I misunderstood. I thought you meant the rest of you as in the rest of the party. I was like, no. But
Understandable
yeah.
mistake.
She like nods in confirmation.
The same shade?
Nod.
Okay. Yeah, she's not looking at you, so she can't. You don't know if she sees you nodding or not. She's not. She's looking away from you and like looking at a waitress coming over. But she doesn't say anything else. So do with that what you will.
All right.
So yeah. So the 4 of you make your way outside.
Aye.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Gamsey.
Welcome back.
You guys
Sorry
head
about
up.
that.
No worries. You guys head outside. The streets of Waterdeep are busy. Busier than because you arrived in the afternoon yesterday, so they were as busy as you were, as you saw them yesterday. And boop, boop, 1 second. And the city is your oyster. What would you like to do?
And I suppose we probably shouldn't go too far so we don't get lost, but do we want to just pick a road and go?
Let me bring up a map of Waterdeep for you guys. So
I assume we don't have a map in character, though.
You do not have a map in character, no. But you have been around to a lot of places. So you are currently here at the Yawning Portal.
Mm-hmm.
You could probably see Castle Waterdeep from where you're standing. You came from the north gate, so you passed the market up here.
Oh, we had to go over to the market today.
Right.
House, did we not?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Lawrence is here, presently. And then you've also been down here last night.
Mm-hmm.
True.
There, and then you went to Candle Lane as well.
Does anyone have anywhere they really want to go?
Or anything that you
wanted some
particularly
fresh
want to do.
Sokka just kind of wants to sit up on the side of the street and try to sing for money.
You can certainly do that.
He'd probably try to do it like a little bit away from the bar just so he doesn't get lost.
Where do you go?
Honestly, probably, is this how you do it? Hang on.
Click and hold.
Yeah, just click and hold.
Right about here.
That four-way intersection?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like over a block?
Mm-hmm.
That's Soothsayer's Way, by the way. On the corner of Soothsayer and Snail.
Yeah. On that corner, he just kind of sets up. Probably tries to convince Durnan to let him borrow a pot or something.
Good luck.
Actually, wait. I might not have to. Let me check.
There's probably a pot or something in your mess kit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Which is on the cart.
Which is over at the shop.
Which, yeah, you guys come out. You guys come outside. The cart's gone. Steve's gone.
Oh shoot.
Well, Lawrence isn't here, so I kind of assume that he went with Steve in the cart.
Maybe.
I'm sure they're fine. It's alright.
Don't you? No, you don't wear a hat, do you?
They don't know where the Steam and Steel is, do they?
No.
Nope.
Oh boy.
We don't even know what your workplace is called, I don't think.
Yes. Yeah. No. He said it in front of you. That's how Steve
Okay.
knows.
Cool.
Golly, what could I do? Oh, I do have my backpack though.
Yeah.
Probably unload most of the stuff in the room me and Rock have,
Okay.
and take the backpack and try to use that as a little tip spot.
Okay. So you're gonna go to, you're gonna go to the corner of Snail and Soothsayer.
and Snail. Yep.
Okay. And you're just gonna open your backpack and play for money.
Mm-hmm.
What instrument are you playing?
I don't have any instruments. Remember?
So you're gonna sing.
I'm a singer
boy.
bard.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing?
Can I join him with the
Smirking.
bagpipes?
Yes.
Actually, bagpipes would probably greatly complement the way Sokka does things.
Okay.
Since
so
he sings in Giant.
you're gonna sing in Giant with bagpipe accompaniment. All right.
At a major intersection.
Normally, this would require a performance test, and normally, with your associate helping you, you would have advantage on this test. However, I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
Oh boy. One sec. Phone is giving me issues. Okay, here we go.
He went
While
very
I'm also
thoughtfully.
doing that, I can make sure he doesn't get robbed.
So, about that. Awesome. So the winds
I
of
don't like.
the winds of fate are not with you today, Salcom. As you sit on the street corner, Braden's playing along on his bagpipes. You start singing in Giant, and almost immediately you are approached by two adults in plate mail armor. They have kite shields with a gauntlet on them.
Oh shit!
Uh-oh.
How long after they start is this?
Like, less than a minute.
Okay.
Hi.
And they come over and look at you up and down, look at Brayden, look him up and down. Where's Connie and Rock?
Probably not. Rockham doesn't plan to stick around, so he probably wasn't too far off. But
Okay.
Yeah,
Probably
Connie's
10 or so
probably
paces.
nearby, but not like right there.
Okay, so you both see this. And one of the paladins comes up to you, Rock, and folds his arms. There's a clank as the gauntlets like scrape down his chest. He says, "Don't recognize you."
so,
To who?
Yep.
To who? You said
You,
to Rock.
to you. Oh, I meant to say Salcom, sorry.
Oh, my bad. I'm from out of town. Came here with my friends.
Got a permit?
There it is.
I'm pretty sure. Brayden, we have permits, didn't we? We got those on our way in. That's why I'm here. I gave up all my money trying to
I
help
just
us
want
get
to
our stuff.
clarify. You said, and I quote, "Brayden, do we have permit?" Is that right?
No, he said
Did
we
you
got those on our way in, didn't we?
Yes, but you said, "Brayden, we got those on our way in," didn't you?
Yeah.
Did you say those words?
Yeah.
Okay.
What have you
Oh
done?
no!
So the other one pauses when you say that. You see him turn to the first guy and mutter something, and the first guy takes out a scroll and looks at it.
This is gonna be interesting. Did
Oh,
Sockham look at Brayden when he said that?
That's a good question.
So if he
Rock-
didn't, I can
The
try
thing,
and
the
save
thing is,
this.
Sock is projecting his voice.
Sockham's head is like going back and forth between the two, trying to figure out what's going on, but he probably can't see their faces, so he can't really read the situation.
Oh
What
no!
I'm saying is, if he didn't look directly at Brayden when he said that, I can pretend to be Brayden, as it were.
Brayden, remind me, did you give the guards your name? You gave them a name.
No.
I don't remember if you gave them Brayden.
No.
Okay, so then never mind. So you're good. You're good. So, and so you said, I thought we had permits, and then you said something about giving up all your money?
Yeah, I gave all my money to someone to help us get our permits because of exchange stuff. Like exchange rates? I don't remember the word.
Tax.
Taxes. No. Yes, taxes.
Did you do this at the Hall of Justice?
Yes.
Papers.
Someone-
He holds his hand out. Papers.
I think I left them at the yawning portal when I emptied my backpack.
You see his other hand go to the manacles on his belt? What do you want to do?
I double checked that Connie's hood is on tight.
Yeah, Connie's covered.
Okay.
So he's got one hand holding out to you. He's reaching for the manacles on his belt with his other hand. You can do one. All of you can do one thing, and we might
Wait,
have to roll
he's-
initiative.
He's reaching for me?
Oh no, he has his hand out like, "Give me your paper." You say, "I don't have them," and his other hand just goes to his belt where his manacles are.
Is there
Sockham's-
a crowd?
There
Sockham's
is.
kind of
I mean, there's people on the
scratching.
street. There's a couple people who have stopped to gawk at who the Order of the Gauntlet is arresting. Yes.
What I'm debating is leave Connie here with them and hope they all don't die, while I haul ass back to the yawning portal to get his papers. But I want to like step back into the air quote crowd, as it were, before I bolt off.
Okay.
Like a
Here's the
criminal.
thing, Rock. You've seen those papers. He doesn't have a performing permit.
Fuck. Maybe I should sprint back to ask what Brayden works, or not Brayden, Lawrence. He might be able to fix this.
So,
Sick.
so Brayden,
We've-
what are you doing? This
Put
if
it back.
if ever there was a time for the sentence "What bagpipes, officer?" it's now.
I was about to say, put the bagpipes away and
Make a sleight of hand check with disadvantage because they're looking right at you. They're bagpipes. It's not like a piccolo. Okay. Fair enough. I actually have to roll against that.
How do I get you guys out of this without going to jail?
Or Lord's having to pay quite a bit of cash.
Wow.
to-
So you're reasonably sure that so yeah, I think you can tell me what it looks like, but I imagine him like you see him reach for the manacles and then he glances up and the bagpipes are just gone. There's just like an outline where the bagpipes used to be.
yeah, that. And he turns around to the guard and says, "What bagpipes? Don't know what you're talking about."
He never said
But-
bagpipes.
Okay. Oh,
So
you'd
yeah,
like-
so Salk, what are you gonna hand him? You don't have any papers, so like, what do you hand him? He's like asking for the papers. Got his other hand on his manacles, like, come on, don't make me do this.
He's scratching his chin and he goes, "If you'd like, we can all walk back to the awning portal and I can show you the permit papers then." The entry papers.
That went well.
Do you say entry papers?
Yes.
Okay. He sighs, and yeah, I think Brayden, you have the most linguistic knowledge of everyone in the group. You hear him say like a very unkind word that translates to foreigners under his breath, like, "Oh, fucking."
yeah.
He sighs. He
Gross.
says, "You need a permit to be in the city. That's true. You should have that on you at all times. But you also need a permit to do this."
To street perform?
Yes.
Oh, our
Stockholm-
apologies. We had no idea
Stockholm-
we needed one.
Sokkum slowly turns to Braden and goes, "What?"
He goes, "What?"
He just kind of goes, "What?"
So you see, instead of the manacles, he reaches for like a notepad on his belt. He pulls it out. He starts writing something, and he says, "Right. Well, ignorance to the law is not defensible in court, I'm afraid." He rips something off. He holds it out to you.
He takes it and goes, "Yep, the guy at the gate told us that earlier."
It's a fine for 500 gold.
But it's better than an arrest.
True. He says, "Pay that at the Hall of Justice before..." He stops. "Can you read a clock?"
Brain just kind of looks at Sock.
Sokkum's doing this little, you can see the cogs in his head turning.
I mean, honestly, you
On
might not
face.
be able to read a clock, all things considered.
I can read a sundial.
He nods. And he says, he points at the, like, a clock tower, like, in the distance, you can see it. He says, "Sundial, 7 bells," and he holds up 5 fingers. "This many days. Pay it before then."
So in 5 days.
Before 7 o'clock, 5 days from now, you have to pay that fine.
AM or PM?
No.
7 bells would be, they're not gonna ring a bell at 7 a.m.
Sokkum really quickly goes, "Do I need a permit to work?"
Depends on the job.
Don't give him ideas.
Because I have no real way to make money while I'm here, and I figure I should pay this off so I don't make anyone angry.
Depends on the job. What are you good at?
Looks at his arm. Looks at his
only
arms and
only
just
slightly
flexes.
sarcastically, he says, "We're here to help you, citizen."
He looks at his arms and flexes. Just legitimately just his picture on the front screen.
The armored woman, like, you could tell it's a woman because she laughs in her helmet, like it echoes. And the man, like, looks at her, like you can't see their face, they're wearing helmets. He looks at her with an obvious aura of, "Really, Charlene?"
Just Seriously? Really?
And he turns back to you and he says, labor job's easy. You can get a permit at the same place.
Do you know any good places I could go to do that? To get labor job?
Points, like, behind you, past the building that your back is to. He goes, there's a lot of water down that way. Pick a ship.
Noted. Thank you, sir.
He nods.
He quickly turns to the woman who laughed and goes, and I know my muscles aren't very big, but I'm still young.
Just stop while you're not ahead.
Yeah, stop digging.
I'm just a young man. I'm just a young man. I'm
Make
still
a perception check, Sockham.
You're gonna find out they have a muscle-sized permit or some shit.
Falcon
no.
has dig deeper at first level.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay, she says something. You can't quite tell what she says. She said something, like, under her helmet, but she's got that, like, purring tone that some women can take.
Oh dear.
And the other man, the armored man with her, like, look, like, full body turns to her, like, the fuck?
Are you kidding me right now?
Like, imagine that gif of the guy from the B movie, like, turning around and discuss. It's that.
So, now, does Sockham know she said something? He just didn't understand it.
Correct. Well, it's not that you didn't understand it. Like, you heard, like, intonation, but you have no idea what she said. You couldn't make it out. She said it, like, to herself.
He has that, like, really nervous look on his face. Yes, I like bread too. And he starts to, like, turn to walk away.
Okay. Yeah. So I think, yeah, the knights will leave, leaving the four of you. Connie, you caught that. For the record.
What'd she say?
Oh no, you didn't hear what she said. Like, you caught that whole exchange. Like,
Gotcha. Yeah, Connie was watching, but she didn't want to get involved if she didn't have to because plausible deniability.
Part of me was debating cutting one of my arms and saying that I got mugged in an alley, but I'm a Goliath, so...
So yeah, so they leave, and the four of you are standing on the street corner with an open backpack.
So how much is 500? That's a lot, right?
It's quite a bit. Remember that giant stack in the yawning portal a bit ago? Almost twice that.
And how much can one make a day here?
That's a good question.
I mean, hopefully we'll be gone before then.
I mean, you could straight up ask Lawrence and he could probably tell you.
Later that day, probably, yeah.
Really quickly, Sockham looks at Braden and really quietly goes, do you think there's a place I can fight for money?
Oh, God.
Braden
Oh
looks at you like,
no!
are you serious?
I started asking you fight.
He really quickly, like, lurches up and smacks Braden's back and goes, no, I'm an idiot, but I'm not stupid.
I mean, you'll probably need a permit for it.
Listen, if you want to be a gladiator, we can have that conversation.
No, that's not Sockham's life.
Are you
He
trying
just
to
kind
make
of
yourself
he just
kill-
kind of roars in laughter at Braden's response, though.
I mean, they said there was work by the water, wasn't there? Start there.
At some point, we're gonna find out the gladiators in Waterdeep is like pro wrestling.
It completely is.
It's
Like, no
also-
doubt in my
Yeah,
mind, it's pro
yeah.
wrestling.
Yeah, absolutely
We'll
is.
probably need a permit for it. Yeah.
And
I
Sockham
can
goes,
absolutely see Soft doing a luchador thing.
Oh, absolutely.
just look at his picture. He already
Twin
looks like a luchador.
terrors is what they would be called.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, anyone want to go work on a dock?
I'm
No,
actually
not
curious.
preferably.
Sockham's like, I'm actually curious if Braden's employer needs a delivery person.
We don't really know the town.
Braden's employer?
He understands it's a job, but he doesn't yet understand it's the whole guild thing.
What? Braden's
Oh.
employer?
Think you meant
Oh.
You mean Lawrence?
Lawrence, my bad.
got him confused
I
earlier
was
today.
like, you don't
I
have
was
any contacts
confused.
in the Thieves Guild in this city. I'm confused.
I meant-
Anyway.
Lawrence, that was my bad.
Like, Tristan's not here. Yeah, going.
I
And
wonder if I
already
could do
makes
any work for
deliveries.
Lawrence's employer. Maybe.
I'll have to ask
Looks it.
Lawrence later today.
Looks at Rockham with solid.
I
expecting him to get who the ore is.
What? Do I get who the ore is?
I have no idea what he's on about.
Me either.
Are we
He
gonna
certainly
mug
wouldn't
somebody? Is that what you're on about?
because it's Durnand.
If you want to ask Durnan for work, we can have that conversation.
I don't think I would connect the dots, but
Comes to shove, we can always ask, never ember.
so,
That would probably lead you to more lucrative contacts than Durnan.
And Durnan's pretty lucrative considering he has the entire hacking bar there.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. Like, you ask Durnan for work, he's gonna be like, yeah, there's a hole in the floor, go clean it out. Like, Dungeon of the Mad Mage, let's go. Like, that's Durnan's work.
so how do you suppose we start paying this off?
I am under absolutely no uncertain terms. It's in the notes for this module for Durnan that says if you're less than level 5, he tells you to fuck off. Like, it's like Sock goes up to him like, got any work? Durnan's like, not for you. Like, that's it. Like,
Why don't we check for the docs? See how much you'd make in a day or an afternoon at this
well, you
point.
need to go to the Hall of Justice first to get the permit,
Yeah, true.
which also requires money.
Well, I'm broke as fuck.
Dragons upon dragons upon dragons upon dragons upon dragons.
For those wondering, I have literally 10 copper, so...
So,
You
Brayden,
did just see Connie pull out a whole bunch of money. Like, where did that come from?
like, Brayden, one thing. Everybody, like, in your little sphere at some point has said everything of the city goes back to dragons. But when Rainier said it read as thieves' can't. Do you want to follow up on that at all?
Aye,
Interesting.
I may as well.
I need to take advantage of Jack of all trades at some point.
How would you do that?
Well, probably go into, like, the downtrodden side of town.
You know where that
Just walk
is. You were
around.
there last night.
Yep.
Walk around till your pants get hot?
So you're gonna head
First of all, phrasing.
Giggity.
you're gonna head down toward the docks? Are all of you
Aye.
going, or just Brayden?
If he wants us to go with, I'll go. Unless he needs to do his whole sneaky thing that he does sometimes.
You can certainly do that.
On one hand, something
Yes,
never
can-
split the party. On the other hand, if he tries to do anything sneaky, Connie will trip.
You can come with, but when I tell you to, like, get the fuck back, please do.
I mean,
so this, or we go to the hall and try to
I
get
mean-
permit.
Yeah,
Brayden-
another thing you could do is try to procure a map of the city.
That's an idea.
also Rockham could give Braden the brooch. Oh no, he couldn't because that was specially fitted for us.
Nope.
Yep. Yeah, if you need to go be,
Could Connie become a tick?
Yes.
Yes!
on broad
So
daylight.
she'd rather be a beetle.
I mean, she could become a tick and just hide in Braden's hair.
She could
The
do that as a
spell isn't the
beetle.
problem.
She could do that as a
First of all,
beetle.
no.
Or a
Second of
spider.
all, we specifically got a little medallion thing to hide in.
It's the
I was just
spellcasting
making
isn't the
a
problem. It's the being seen is the problem.
I was just making a suggestion for the thing of if she wanted to join Braden.
Maybe I could hide in the latrine or something and change.
Nope.
That
Got a
could
couple
work.
frames.
If you guys want to do that. I mean, we can all go if you want us to, but I don't want to step on shoes, as it were.
So what's the play? What are you guys intending to do?
Sockham's heading for the Hall of whatever.
So you're gonna head up to the Hall of Justice.
I'll go with him.
Okay.
So, Connie.
Are you all going?
I would recommend Connie not going just because Tiefling, but at the same time, Connie's her own person.
At the same time, Connie's the most likely to be able to pay off any big fine.
Yeah, it's fair.
So long as Lawrence isn't here anyway.
Brayden, are you going with them?
No.
No. Where are you going?
The docks.
So you're going to the dock
going
one.
to the- no,
Okay. So I will catch up with you in a minute.
We'll meet you
Okay.
back at the yawning portal, I assume.
Okay.
Cool.
So Connie and the twins make your way north up Snail Street to Waterdeep Way. And you head up Warriors Way to the market. You take Bazaar Street to the Hall of Justice. This takes About an hour.
Alright.
You come back to
Yeah,
the building
quite a
that you were at just a day or so ago,
We're popular.
and one of the guards at the door like sees the three of you walk up, and like you see him. We see from his perspective, he just like gestures at the other guard, like, "Wait here, I'll handle this." He walks up to you guys. He pulls his helmet off, and it's the guy from the gate last time. The young dude.
The guy that helped us?
Yeah.
Sockham just does a little, "My friend, I need help. I need to get work, but I don't have money."
So, so he stops you.
Than every millennial ever.
Yeah, right. He like holds his hand up to you, and he says, "Before we get to that, did you lose your cart?"
No,
Gambling
we left
is
it
a-
at the yawning portal, and then we lost it.
He stops,
A friend of ours is taking care of it.
and you see his eyes. You see him like look at Connie because you're dressed the same as last time he saw you, and again he makes that face like, "I can take you away from all of this." And he looks back at Sockham and he says, Of course. Well, you'll be pleased to know that it doesn't cost you any money out of pocket to file a police report. If you would like us to help you find your possessions, I can begin an investigation immediately."
I put a hand up when he starts that.
Mhm.
Just like, I don't want to interrupt him because I don't want to get on their bad side.
Yeah.
but Our friend, Lawrence
He's
Parnassus?
not Order of the Gauntlet. He's Watch.
Our friend Lawrence, he does the smithing thing. He's keeping an eye on it for us.
Does he have a shop?
He does, but I
Yes.
don't know the name of it.
The
A shame.
He would say he doesn't know where it is. Not that-
Iron Forge, he kind of stumbles on words that he knows are close. And he says, "It's in Troll Alley."
He
Whoever that
stops.
Troll out. Where the hell is
I'm
Troll?
afraid you've been taken, my friend. There's no Troll Alley in Waterdeep.
Troll Skull Alley, I think it was called.
Ah, and his face immediately falls like yawning portal, Troll Skull Alley. Like, and again, he looks at Connie like, "Escape?"
Press X to escape.
Yeah, exactly.
Sockham raises his still unbandaged arm, which I'm assuming is probably scarred, even though it was healed,
Yeah, probably.
and goes, "I'm still learning the places here."
Right. So what brings you to the Hall of Justice this afternoon?
We came to inquire about a performing permit. This one fancies himself a singer.
Well, that, and I need a work permit to pay off he waves the paper. This
He holds
for
his
not
hand out to
having
take it from you.
I need to pay this off so I can.
Yeah,
Not
do
get
you
in
hand it to
trouble.
him?
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
he takes it and he looks at it, and you see his face fall like, "Oh, fuck." And he says,
Just got.
"Reginald, of course it is." And he folds the paper up. He says, I tell you what. I'll cover your fine.
Blink, blink.
Sockham does
nice.
this quick, like, little handshake, like, "I couldn't ask that of you. That's an outrageous price."
I assume it isn't free.
Well, it won't cost you any money directly. I'll be paying extra, in fact.
Well, is there anything we can do for you? in exchange?
He looks at Connie. Doesn't say anything. He just looks at Connie.
Connie quirks an eyebrow. So
He can't see
it
your
because
eyebrow.
we're-
Yeah. He says,
Well, I guess she more like tilts her head than cocks an eyebrow.
rather crass of me to hold your situation for ransom, but dinner?
Wow.
I'm flattered but taken.
Is this
You say take it, and he looks at Sockham, and like disgust passes over his face.
Sockham,
Rockham just starts laughing.
She sees that
Sockham,
and she
like-
just like shakes her head. No.
as
Relax.
soon as Sockham heard "taken," after that little moment, there's this like visual click in his face and goes, "What?"
He
Looks
says,
at Rockham and makes the same noise he made at Braden earlier.
Of course. Anyone I know, I'd like to congratulate them. And he totally doesn't mean egg their house.
That would be funny. Try to
I would also like to inquire about a work permit.
Sockham looks like he just saw an optical illusion punch him in the face.
Connie,
I don't know what that look would be.
what do you say when he says anyone I know?
I don't think so, actually.
Well, in that case, unfolds the paper again, holds it back out to you. I can't really help you too much. A work permit will also cost you some dragons. What business do you have in the city?
Looking for dragons, honestly.
We were here to visit a friend, but now that I've got this, I need to find work so I can pay it off and repay my friend.
He leans over. He says, "You didn't hear this from me, but if you just leave, you'll have to pay the fine when you come back. But the Order of the Gauntlet's not going to follow you. They have better things to do."
He raises his hand again and goes, "As good of an idea as it is, it's a bit dishonest for my taste."
A work permit, well, it depends on how long you intend to stay in the city. A few weeks could run you 100 dragons. A year could be 500.
How much would 10 copper get me? Just
About an
straight
hour.
face.
A nice mug of ale?
So how does someone make money if they don't have money then?
Normally they come to Waterdeep with money. Or they know
I
someone with
did.
deep pockets.
I had money, but I gave it all to you to help pay off our fines.
As well you should, and it's been put to good use.
We do really appreciate all the help. You have no idea.
I mean, we can always talk to Lawrence, I suppose, but we've already asked a lot of him.
I assure you no one in Troll Skull Alley will have the money to pay off of this easily.
How much
Is
would a
there
map
a-
cost?
How much would a
Is
what?
there
what?
no-
A map.
Of what?
Need gestures around them? The town? City?
Gestures at the market behind you. Likely a few silver pieces?
Okay.
And Sockham kind of scratches his chin and goes, "Is there any work in Waterdeep that doesn't require a permit?"
Yes. Bounty hunting, adventuring, inquire at turning at the Yawning Portal, perhaps.
Hold on.
So nothing's safe.
Oh, certainly not.
I look down at his scarred hand. I think we're fine with that.
By the way, the poison's gone.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. I
Spend
forgot
an hour.
about that.
Out of curiosity, do you happen to know how much a permit to practice medicine is?
Where did you study? He seems genuinely interested.
Okay, so have you ever heard of city I can't remember the name of out of character?
Amber Ridge.
No, that's where you're from. The village is called Amber Ridge. I don't remember the name of the city either. It's not really a city either, it's just a town.
I don't. Did it have a name? I thought we always just called it the city.
You called it the
We
city
did.
and then you got older. And so,
Oh, yeah.
you say the name of the city and he says, "No, can't say that I have."
It's quite far away. The medicine there is a little more homegrown, so to speak.
Sockham.
And he nods. Perhaps an herbalist instead of a physiker.
Let's go with that.
She already knows she's a druid because we paid the fine for that when we came in.
Aye. Yeah, they have you at Blackstaff Tower.
Right.
And he says, practicing herbalist is quite profitable in the city, providing you don't make a habit of poisoning your patients. A worker's permit is, there's the guild of herbalists and alchemists, and there's also the guild of physicians and healers. You could apply to either one. I'm sure their entrance fees are reasonable. Then there's guild dues, of course, but that would just be a percentage of what you make.
Sockham does this thing where he just rubs his head with his hand and goes, Rainier was right. This place truly does run on dragons.
Rainier Neverember?
Yes, we met him just a little while ago.
Oh, he's in town.
Yes.
We ran into him at the portal.
At the... He slowly puts his helmet back on. Ah,
Is that- oh, shit.
I just remembered that's something I need to do. And he like, starts to walk past you.
As he's
Have a good
walking
day.
away. I'm really sorry that dinner fell through for you, but if there's anything else we can do to help, do let us know.
He stops and turns. And he says, "If you could lead me to Rainier Neverember."
Now hang on.
I don't actually know where he is right now.
You don't.
Why exactly?
Ah, sure, it's no trouble. Just the one of the barristers wants to have a conversation with him. That's all. Something about embezzlement. That's probably not a word you know.
What was it?
Embezzlement. He said embezzlement.
Ah.
Embezzle. Did he shove bees up someone's behind?
No,
What?
but he is likely in bed with some unsavory types.
Can't tell if insight or distrust is the
Make
right
an insight
motive.
check.
We were.
If Lawrence was here, he would know exactly what's going on.
He's going to arrest Rainier.
Okay.
Sockham's just. Oh. We were supposed to help
mean-
him save someone later.
I can show you where he is, but it's a long walk.
All he heard was, "I can secure a promotion for you. Follow me." And he says, "Lead the way."
And I'll look
My
at the
fu-
other and say, I'll meet up with you guys later.
You have no fucking idea where Rainier is.
No, I don't.
Yes, I didn't even know that.
We
yet.
are going for a stroll
No.
until I.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
After they're gone.
So okay,
he-
no. Hang
Oh,
on. There is no after they're gone. They haven't left yet. Put a pin in
Right.
that. Brightwind, Rockham is aware that if he does this, he could be arrested.
Could be, but it's better I get arrested than the pack, as it were.
Okay, are you sure you want to ride this train?
Sure, no. Confident, no.
Sockham probably won't
option?
let him.
At the moment.
Okay, so Rock starts to leave with this guard.
Rockham, are you taking him to the portal? That is where we're supposed to meet him, but not for quite some time.
I guess that's where we're going. Glaring.
What did I do?
I don't say anything after that.
Connie, can you make an insight check, please? I just want to
Okay.
make sure you're aware that he's going to go arrest Rainier.
God damn it, Sockham.
At least it
character.
gives you
Nope.
a place to be.
Womp.
So Rock, you're the only one who realizes that he's going to go arrest Rainier.
Yeah.
And he says, "When precisely are you meant to meet Lord Neverember?"
I just kind of look up toward the sky, sometime between this and dark. I don't know the way you tell time here.
Understandable, given the distance that you've traveled. Remember, he saw your travel permit. He says, right, but the yawning portal. I'll make a note. He's not there now.
Honestly, I don't know.
Very
I would
well.
assume he'd be there eventually.
Just for the sake of it, you're not affiliated with Rainier Neverember, are you? He's asking all
That's a
three
big-
of you.
That's a big word.
Well, I'm not sure I know fully what you mean, but we met him recently and he asked, and we decided we were
Have
going
you
to
done
help
any
him.
work for him?
No, we were going to work with him because it was in league with something we were already hired to do,
Is that?
sort of.
And you see him like look past you, and you hear the other guard start to approach. And he says,
We were hired to save a man named Floon. Apparently, that's also Rainier's goal.
from what precisely?
I don't.
He
What
went
was it
missing.
called? What was it, Rockham? A locked crate somewhere in a warehouse?
Apparently he's been kidnapped.
Yeah. He just went missing one day and we're looking into it.
Lord Rainier
some
has
famous-
kidnapped someone.
No,
What? No.
Rainier wants to find the kidnapped person. Floon is apparently a friend of his.
Do you have... Floon's a rather common name in Waterdeep. Do you have anything further? A description, perhaps?
Gagmar, I think.
Lagmar, in case you forgot.
Flagmar, that's the one, not Gagmar.
I mean, at this point, if I stop them, it's going to be by choking them out, which I don't want to do.
Yeah, so the other guard walks over, and Salk, you feel a gauntleted hand on your shoulder.
Oh shit.
Hello.
Just kick
would
it, just
the...
kick it.
And he's not looking at Connie, but he says it loud enough that the other guard can hear. He says, would the two of you mind to answer a few more questions, please?
So can I roll insight again at this point?
He
Or
is
am I just completely
purposefully excluding you. He's
Those are the twins then?
yeah, he's trying to give Connie an out.
I'm going to say yes anyway, but if I do, can I have a free work permit?
It doesn't work that way, I'm afraid.
I didn't think so. Okay.
If I can lock eyes with Connie, I'm going to give that glance like, this is your chance.
Yeah, the hand on your shoulder tightens when you ask that, Salcom.
I figured I'd try. Okay. What are your questions?
But yeah, Connie, like, you don't have to roll insight for this. Like, everybody except Salcom and his dancing partner is like, get the fuck out of here, Connie.
Yeah, I think Connie's gonna go dip and warn
Go
Rainier.
get Lawrence or something, yeah.
So, you two are led into the Hall of Justice, and the door is like ominously like behind you. Connie,
Like,
where do you go?
Alright, what's closer? Actually, I don't know where Lawrence's shop is, do I?
You do know where it is, because the dude said go to the market, get a map, and he said Troll Skull Alley 3 times.
Perfect! I'm gonna go get a map!
Okay, so you go into the market. So you have to somehow purchase from a hawker stall what you want without buying a bunch of extra stuff and without somebody like perfume bombing you or otherwise removing your hood. Make a persuasion
your
check.
average trip into a mall.
Okay.
Make a persuasion check. If you pass this, I'm gonna need dexterity saving throw. Okay.
Nope.
So you will get what you want. You will get a map, but you will also get some other stuff. Roll 3d6 for me, please.
Oh dear.
Okay. So you're going to be out 12 gold instead of like 3 silver.
Yeah, good lord.
And what extra crap does Connie end up purchasing despite her
Alright.
best efforts?
Alright, hold on. Let me math that.
I'm sorry, I keep laughing over a mental image.
Let's see. Random stuff Connie would end up with without trying to get it.
I feel like she's gonna come out of this with like a dress that doesn't fit right, maybe, and like, because it would be girly shit. Like as soon as you open your mouth, like the feminine vendors are gonna be all over you. Like
Yeah, I think she would end up as with a box of makeup or something.
yes. And for
Travel makeup,
some reason, I imagine like a chicken in a cage.
Interesting
And
thing about
probably a
that. There was I believe there were some stories where people believed that chickens could be used to, if you took their feet while they were alive, you could use them to remove crow's feet, and you could also use their blood as really good exfoliation.
So we see Connie go into the market, like deep breath, go into this like massive bazaar of people, and then we hear like a ticking sound, and then like an egg timer dings, and Connie comes out the other side with a whole bunch of stuff, looking breathless.
So do I have to declare all of it now, or can I decide on something later?
We can have, aside from the chicken and the makeup and the map, as long as you spent 12 gold, we can just have it at a comedically appropriate moment.
Nice.
So you've basically just been given the power of pseudo Deadpool.
Yeah, well, no, it's not going to be anything useful.
I've been given a one-use hammer spade.
When did I say anything useful Deadpool has?
Fair. So you come out the other side, like, holding all this stuff, and I think Connie, like, looks down at it, like, in that very cartoon, just, like, way, right? And the chicken, like, looks up at you, like, Park. What do you want to do?
Rockham, you can have a familiar now.
Oh, so now I have the extra coin pouch.
Yes!
That chicken will be my next character.
Awakened chicken.
What do you want to do, Connie?
Right, so now that I have the map,
One of the things you bought was like a souvenir holy symbol of Joaquin, I think. It's like made of wood.
Alright, let me add that.
And I think a couple of these transactions, the hawker, like, gave you the item and took the money and you didn't even know.
Oh no.
Braden would have had a heyday.
Okay.
Braden is not here. So, yeah, you're encumbered, for the record. Like, you have a bunch, like, you're encumbered. What would you like to do?
So, which seems...
You want to do that very cartoon thing where you just drop everything in an alley and walk away?
Well, she can't leave the chicken here all alone.
Useful
She
when.
freed the chicken.
You could free the chicken.
In which case, someone will catch the chicken and eat the chicken.
Well, you probably bought it from a butcher.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
You now have a pet chicken.
Either way, I'm trying to decide if I want to go poke Lawrence or just run straight to the portal and try and warn Rain.
You've got a good couple hours before Rainer's supposed to be there, so...
Yeah, I'm gonna yeet myself to Lawrence's workplace.
Okay, so... Make a survival check with disadvantage, because Trollskull Alley is actually kind of hard to get to. You have a map, but this is like... I need you to take your time. Yeah, okay. So, I think it's reasonable, like... Connie gets a little bit lost. I mean, you're slowed down because you're carrying all this stuff. It takes you a good bit to cross the city, right? It takes you a while. So you get to Trollskull Alley as, like, Rainier is done with Lawrence and, like, leave. Actually, no, it's before Rainier gets there. So you come into, like, Trollskull Alley, and you see coming the other way up the street, not out of Trollskull Alley, but towards Trollskull Alley, Rainier Neverember. And he just, like, sees you. You're in your, like, hooded form with all of these parcels, and you see him do that thing that you've seen, like, your friends do before. Like, is that Connie? No. The fuck? Like, that, and he, like, walks over, and he's, like, semi-quietly, he says, "Excuse me, miss, you wouldn't be Miss Sirges, are you?"
Yes, actually. Do you have a minute?
He takes one of the boxes from you, and, like, looks inside, and, like, pulls out a bonbon, and, like, pops it into his mouth. And he says,
I do now.
"There's something on your mind."
Listen, there was a small kerfuffle at the big hall of important people.
Again?
There's
What did you do now?
guards.
Actually, no, he doesn't say what did you do now. He says, what did the big one do now?
There are guards expecting you at the portal. Said something about bedazzlement.
He looks confused, like you didn't say the right word.
Embezzlement. Embezzlement. That one.
My father. He shakes his head. Some
Well,
people...
either way, they're looking for you.
Yes, well, some people believe my father took a great deal of money from Waterdeep. I'm one of them, as a matter of fact.
Just thought I should warn you. I don't think they'd want you to walk away if you showed up.
No, we need to find Floon. And the way he says it, it's like, this is relevant to what you're telling me.
Alright, so just out of character getting this straight. Brayden is off somewhere else.
Brayden is off fuck knows where. The twins are now in a cell, probably, in the Hall of
Twins are
Justice.
still at the Hall of Justice.
And then Lawrence is, like,
And-
up that alley.
Okay. And Pierce is nowhere to be found, obviously.
And Pierce is, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, the two big ones are still at the Hall of Justice. Lawrence, as far as I
Wait,
know, is
he holds his
at
hand
work.
up. He holds his hand up. Why?
What?
What did they were arrested? Why?
Less,
Puffed another bonbon into his mouth.
less arrested and more being questioned, I think. Partly because they were talking about meeting with you.
Ugh. He puts a hand to his face.
Hence the whole ordeal with the
When
portal.
we find
Connie ate
Floon,
bonbon.
when Floon is retrieved alive, we are all going to have a long conversation about discretion.
Yeah.
He stops. We're going to have a long conversation about what not to say to people in uniform.
Gotcha.
And he doesn't mean it as an insult. He's just like, you probably don't know that word. He says, all right, so we'll get... Damn it all.
I mean, to be fair, Sakam is just more or less following what Pa told him.
Yeah, I can't present myself to the Hall of Justice to get your friends.
Correct.
That
Hence the conundrum.
rather throws a wrench in things, doesn't it? Listen,
My
I-
next best idea would be to find Brayden.
he holds a hand up again. I assume you've inferred by now that my family has a great deal of money.
I had a hunch.
I don't have access to it.
Good to know.
Not everyone in Waterdeep knows that, so, like last night at the warehouse, I can fake it. It's not the same thing as paying a fine for 2 held Goliaths. Do you have... Please tell me you have travel papers?
Travel papers, yes.
Oh, you see him relieved. All right.
I think they left theirs back at the portal, so we would have to stop there before we go get them.
Oh, wonderful. So their fines are going to be even higher. Great. Well, we can steal it from my father's estate, but we need to find Floon.
All right.
And it's so weird that he keeps circling back to that. Like, it doesn't make sense.
So... I was going to ask about something else real quick first, but I forgot what it was already, so... What's so important? I know he's in danger, but why do you keep circling back to Floon?
Well, he's my friend. He's Volo's friend. But more than that, I have a hunch whom has Floon. And I believe that whom they want is me.
Okay.
They likely want information that I possess, which means they are likely torturing the poor boy.
I see.
Your friends... But I don't really understand how your relations work, but they are safe. They are not going to be assaulted. Well, they might be assaulted, but they're not going to be killed at the Hall of Justice. I cannot get them out. And now I can't go back to the Yawning Portal. I need to go and get Floon tonight.
Okay.
You have my permission, for what little it's worth, to break into my father's estate and take as much money as you can to get your friends out of that place and pay whatever fines they have. But if you're caught, you're all going to swing.
Understood.
But I also need help to rescue Floon.
Alright.
I have an
Okay,
idea.
so... Okay.
Are you by... He stops, looks around for the first time. Are you by yourself?
Well, lucky for me, the guard they were talking to seems to like me, and gave me the opportunity to scoot.
So yes.
Yes.
It's not... He sighs and, like, puts a hand to his face. It's really not safe for a woman to be traveling Waterdeep streets by herself, especially not you, Miss Sergeys. And what are you carrying?
Oh, just for reference, if someone asks, it's not Sergeys, it's Miss Gambleson.
Gambleson. Still, not safe.
Just wanted to let you know before I forgot.
He nods. Where were you going?
I was on my way to poke Lawrence because those two are at the Hall of Justice, and I don't know how to get them out, and he would be more likely to know.
Right. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of friends in the city. I have Floon, and I have Volo. Last I heard, Volo jumped on a ship to Port Nyanzaru, and Floon...
Lovely. Gone.
Well, we know where Floon is.
Roughly.
If you don't feel like breaking into my father's villa, and I don't blame you. He sighs. Do you know how much their fine is? Total.
Total, I know that it's at least 500 because
You see his
Sock
face
decided
fall.
to try busking. I
They
don't
did
know
what?
they would
How do you know
be
that word? How
fined.
does Connie know that word?
What word?
She
Busking.
probably doesn't. That was
No, I
me
mean,
throwing in that word.
I'm into it. I'm completely into it with Connie knowing that word.
But
I'm
I
just-
mean, to be fair, her dad is Sergeys.
That's true. Yeah,
To
never
be
mind.
honest, it sounds like, just by the sound of it, it sounds like something Tristan
you know
would
what she would
scoff
say?
trying to teach Sockham.
It's because Sock decided to pass the hat.
Yeah, okay. He sighs. Right. Okay. At least 500 plus travel permits plus whatever else they can squeeze out of them to get to me. Politics. It's frustrating.
I've noticed.
I have a place that I can stay. Do you have a map?
Yes, actually, that's why I have all this junk staring at the chicken.
Central Market?
Hereish. She pulls it out.
Yeah, Central Market. Don't go without a guide. That happens if you do.
Good to know.
Right. Do you mind if I... And he, like, pulls out a marker, basically. He says, do you mind if I...
Go ahead.
He marks a place on your map. He says, I have a safe house around here. I can move about the city to a degree without being seen. Gestures around the fact that he's, like, walking down the street. He says, but I can't go to the bloody Hall of Justice. And now I can't go to the Yawning Portal for a few days or so. I'll be here. Or I'll go and find Flume myself. Get them out and meet me before nightfall.
No, before nightfall. Pointing at the place he marked.
He nods.
Understood.
Do you have any way to get that money?
Yes, actually.
You do? How?
I hope. It depends how big the fine is, but I think I can pull it off.
He looks at you very seriously. How much do you have?
Do you want the honest answer or the answer I tell people?
He just gives you a look like, get on with it.
What's the ones that are bigger than gold?
Platinum.
A good chunk of those. I haven't counted specific.
Those are worth 10 gold coins. 10 dragons for one of those.
Oh yeah, I got plenty of those.
He nods. If you don't have enough, talk to a buyer. Better to be in debt with her than the city.
Speaking of which, I found her. She's going to get me a very nice, better fitting cloak.
He nods. Good. I'll go and talk to Lawrence. He'll go to the Yawning Portal this evening, meet him there with the boys, and we'll go find Flume together.
Alright. Then I guess we should split.
He puts his hand on the chicken cage. He says, what are you doing with that?
I don't know. I was talking to the merchant, and the next thing I knew, I was holding it.
I haven't eaten. Do you mind?
Subtle.
Ah. Sorry, Mr. Chicken.
There goes my
Hands him
backup
the cake.
character.
And he takes the cage and he nods. He pulls his hood up and he says, Nightfall, don't be late. We need Floon. All of us now.
All of us now. Understood.
He nods and he goes up. So Lawrence, freeze frame, jump cut. Your interaction with Rainier, he's holding a chicken cage. It's never brought up, but he's holding a chicken cage.
At this point, Lawrence would, it's Waterdeep.
Yeah,
He'd be
exactly.
smile and nod.
So, meanwhile, Sneaky Boy,
Uh-huh.
what are you up to?
Coconut run.
So you started near the yawning portal. You started here. Everyone else went north. You went south?
Yeah.
All right. Where are you
Towards
headed?
the dogs work.
You just walking around looking for stuff?
Aye.
All right.
Well, pretty much looking for information at this point.
Looking for information. Make an investigation check.
Aye. Investigation. I nearly clicked intimidation.
Okay. You can ask me 5 questions.
Well, yeah. Number one, as I keep trying to find out, hasn't been going anywhere, the Thieves Guild. That's not the Xanathars.
Okay, so you're looking around for the Thieves Guild.
Aye.
The Xanathars is the Thieves Guild.
Piss. Right.
However, there are several, like, shadowy dudes. If you go back to the bar, the Skewer Dragon, which I assume you do, because you went back to that area, you go back there, and you ask around, grease a few palms. Roll 1d6 for me. That'll cost you 3 gold.
Right.
But you can be directed to, like, a fence, if that's what you're looking for.
A fence?
An illicit,
Someone who
an
buys and
illicit
sells
tradesman,
illegal
yeah.
goods.
Oh, no, okay. An illicit tradesman.
If there's anything, if
You
there's
also
something
hear
you never-
about a... Let me find it. You also hear about someone by the name of the Black Viper. You don't meet them, but you're asking about shadowy characters in Thieves Guild. You hear about, like, this pseudo-superhero called the Black Viper. You have 4 more questions.
Something dragons?
something Floon.
I think if I ask about Floon, I'm going to end up with a knife in my back.
You know where Floon is. You,
Nice.
of everyone in the party, you know exactly where Floon is.
Yeah. I'd probably inquire about the everything goes back to dragons, in quotation marks.
Make a history check for me. It's a saying in Waterdeep. You gotta pay for everything, nothing's free. Nobody can translate that thieves' camp for you that you can find. Which in and of itself answers the question. That's specific to Rainier. That's not a Waterdeep colloquialism. That, like, Rainier, when Rainier says it, he means something different than everyone else.
So I'll need to ask him personal.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll pay that 3 gold for the location of the guy.
Yep.
It'd be really useful to learn Water Camp.
To learn what?
Waterdeep Thieves Camp.
Yes,
Because
it
you
would.
said that the guards.
But he can't just do
So,
it, so...
Right.
You have 3 more questions, Brayton.
Yeah.
Hello, Kitter. Kitter is listening closely, Delta. Choose wisely.
What do you got? What do you got, sneaky boy?
Well, I suppose because Braden doesn't know the location of where Emmerich and Abby's shop is. In character, Braden doesn't know, so it'd be asking where they.
So what do you ask?
They
know Lawrence and the Skewer Dragon. You could ask that.
Aye. I could ask where it is Lawrence works, and if I can get a map to like show where it is.
You can get a map from the fence.
Aye.
It'll cost you 5 silver.
Aye.
And then yeah, they'll tell you it's in Troll Skull Alley.
Aye, so I've also got a map now.
Yep. 2 more questions.
Trying to think we would ask in character.
You want me to come back to you?
I'm drawing a blank on what to ask.
Do you want me to come back to you?
Yeah.
He said yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, in the meantime, we cut to I don't have a good Hall of Justice theme. Sorry. So I'll just use this.
Something that's brass and lots of horns.
We cut to Rock and Sock sitting at a wooden table in like an almost featureless gray room. You guys, what is like the ice cream for the little kid for Rock and Sock? What is like the burger and french fries for the hungry millennial for Rock and Sock? Like, what have you guys been treated to?
It'd probably be something that Rockham hasn't had yet. Something that's like savory, like some sort of local meat or something that's been grilled.
Okay.
Like maybe, I don't know, goat or something.
So maybe just like honcho animal meat on a plate?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's having the Waterdeep version of a Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah, like it's some nice. What about Sock? What about Sock? Or do you guys just have like really nice sandwiches?
I've kind of thought about this for a long time before. Sockham really has a thing for cheese and fruit. And
fancy.
Yeah,
one day...
this is a city of nobles and mages. You guys totally get a cheese spread. That's fine. Like a charcuterie board for you two to share. Yeah, and then like a pitcher of like mulled wine, and you both have like glass goblets that you're drinking out of. You're by yourselves in this room. You're just like pigging the fuck out.
Sockham's probably a little happier to do so than Rockham is, I imagine.
A little bit, yeah.
Can you both make a Constitution saving throw for me, please?
Oh boy.
I was about to ask with the mulled wine and all.
We're gonna wake up without our kidneys or something.
Okay. Okay. So, Sock, your opinion of the guards is 1 level higher than it would normally be. Rock, you're unaffected.
Okay.
You guys are pigging out, and the doors open, and the guard from before comes in. He sets down, just dumps his arms out, and a bunch of, fresh, spring fruit just, spills out onto the table.
1 sec, I'm being called.
Okay.
Go ahead, though.
And he pulls out a chair, and he sits down and takes his helmet off. and he takes a water skin off his belt, takes a long drink from it, and he like sighs satisfied, and he smiles over at you, Sokka, and he says, "Enjoying the food?"
I'm just gonna get up and grab that real quick.
We're all friends here, and we treat our friends well in Waterdeep, don't we?
Well, you seem to fine your friends pretty heavily too, but I don't think that's too big of a deal.
I talked to the barrister. Your fines have been lifted.
Oh, cool. You guys are great.
Yeah, right? Listen, we're friends, and friends help each other, right?
Well, yeah, that's how friendship works.
Mm.
Stuffs a whole apple into his mouth.
Yeah. I need your help. Your fines, the money that you owe the city, they're paltry compared to what Rainier Neverember has done. We could feed so many people. And he reaches into his coat and he pulls out a folded piece of paper. He sets it on the table and he says, I can get you a performing permit. All you have to do is take me to Rainier Neverember.
I would really, but I don't know where he is. We were just supposed to meet him at the Yawning Portal. That's all I knew.
Well, all right. Let's walk it back then. Maybe we can find out where he is together. So, since I saw you yesterday, you went to the Yawning Portal. You must have had some adventure to cross paths with Rainier Neverember. He's not the friend you were here to meet, is he?
No, a buddy Lawrence. He works at a forge place.
He nods. So, how did you wind up meeting Rainier?
It's actually kind of funny. We were hired by this, like, famous guy. I don't remember his name, but he seemed really nice. If not very broke. He wanted us to help find his friend Floon Bagbar.
He's like writing down as you're talking.
I don't remember his name.
You mentioned it before.
Yeah, so you remember that.
You're vaguely aware that your thoughts aren't coming as cleanly as they should, Sock, but not enough to comment on it.
We got a lead from somewhere. I don't really remember. I think it was a tavern or something. That there was a really sketchy... There was some sketchy stuff going on at a warehouse. It was really dark. Do you guys know you need lanterns by those warehouses we were at? I don't remember where we were at exactly, but you need lanterns.
He's writing in his notes. He says, Candle Lane? The warehouse with the serpent?
Yeah, that's the one.
He says,
very, very dark. You need lanterns.
That was you! The barrister's not very pleased with the mess you made, but, well, help us find Rainier and all is forgiven. He's writing something else in his notepad.
Frankly, we didn't have a choice. I took a coffin full of glass to the abdomen, and then we were.
So he looks at you. He stops you. He says, "I'm sorry. What?"
There were traps inside.
Right.
My friends took cross bolts to the shoulders. Then I caught a coffin that was full. Let me tell you, I mean full. Stands up and shows his stomach before sitting back down. Full of glass.
It wasn't a coffin. It was a cask, a wine cask, a barrel.
Oh.
So yeah,
It's totally in character to be using the wrong word.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it rolled down the stairs like a barrel, and you grabbed both ends, and the middle broke out from the centrifugal force, and impaled you with shrapnel.
Yes,
But yeah, it's totally in character for Salk to say the wrong thing.
And then we found Rainier, and he was really beaten down bloody. Like, he was not in a good place. He smelled bad. He smelled very bad. Like,
what was Rainier doing in a trapped warehouse?
He leans in close. He smelled really bad. Anyway, he looked like he had fought through hell and high water, and he came at us swinging and screaming, and there was some fear in his attack. There was some fear in his attack, but once we managed to calm him down, when he realized we
What
weren't
was he
his
afraid
friends.
of?
Well, that's the funny thing. Apparently, there were bird people upstairs, and they were after him.
He doesn't react to that like he did with coffin to the stomach. Like, what you said makes sense. He just keeps writing.
I had never seen these bird people before. And the dead fish eyes started coming back. I thought they were monsters.
So you just happened upon Rainier Neverember squatting in a warehouse full of traps.
They had... And he's gripping his arm with that has the letters really hard, trying to fight the whole feeling from coming back.
Of all the times for Bright to not be here.
Yeah, right. Although to be fair, Genzi's doing great.
Yay.
You'll have to forgive me. We got one, and we began questioning it, and I...
What did it say?
It said a lot of things like, Xanathar sends its regards.
You write something down.
And other things, and I thought it was just a monster, and
Ah, shit.
Here we go.
I'd rather not get into that.
He keeps writing. He says, right. And then what did Rainier do?
And Rainier said, I'm off to... Well, he didn't so much say it, he just kind of did it. He went off to save his friend. We managed to catch up and stop him
There was an
from doing it
altercation with the watch.
Yes. Oh, what happened with the watch?
Make an insight check.
It's always so hard to find stuff. Here it is.
There you go. He just prompted you. He knows your story. You're clear-headed enough to realize that.
Oh, how? It was he was about to like slide this like really fancy-looking cheese into his mouth, and he goes, "How did you know about the watch?"
I work for the watch.
Yes, but they were told not to say anything by Rainier.
We're looking for Rainier.
I suppose that's a good point. I just found it odd. Sorry. Anyway,
Yeah. So hang on. You are correct in your inference, Gamzee, that doesn't add up. Something's fucky.
Really? They said something? Their jobs were on the line from what Rainier was saying. That'd be your life on the line in Waterdeep, wouldn't it?
He sighs and puts the pad down. He says, I wouldn't... Yes, you're correct, but... Well, some things have come to light about Lord Neverember, make an insight check, that make those threats seem a bit more hollow. You're not sure if he's talking about Rainier when he says that. He says Lord Neverember, but that could be any Neverember.
Don't people usually refer to his father as Lord?
Well, yes, but surely Rainier has information about his father in the vault.
And Sokkum quickly does this excited finger thing. I know he hates his dad.
Stops. You caught that. He said, and the vault.
Vault? Just stops wagging his finger just as quickly as he did. I never heard anything about a vault.
Rainier didn't mention a vault to you.
No.
I really wish Brightwood was back. Oh my god. Writes a few more things.
Frankly, he's missing out.
Yeah, and he writes a few more things down on his pad. He says, nothing about the keys, the orb, nothing?
No, he was just very concerned about getting Floon back.
Floon.
Floon.
and like to, yeah,
That's
like to himself, he goes, Floon Blagmar. Like you just gave him the key to the city. He says, of course. Yes. Well, you're free to go, and
But there is one more thing.
he's
I
already
figure.
getting up and like half running out of the room. He left the permit on the table. And all of this food.
And Rockham is still there, just not.
Yeah, I'm sure Brightwind would have things to say if he was here, but we'll just have to go with it.
Right. It's just kind of.
Kind of a bummer that he couldn't
Sokka.
pitch in.
Yeah.
Sockham's kind of looking at him like, why are you giving me the silent treatment? I did what Paul told us.
Welcome back. You just missed the interrogation.
Hello, everyone.
That was beautiful.
What a miss. Are we going to prison?
Oh my
no,
God,
you're free
dude.
to go. You have a whole bunch of food. Your fines are cleared, apparently, or supposedly your fines are cleared, and Salk has a busking permit.
The fuck did you do? Did you blow my door? What the fuck?
Sockham has this like really
So, Brightwind, is it fair to say that because you missed all of that, Rockham was affected by the drugs, and just like spaced
Sure.
out?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll go watch the VOD later just for me. But
Yeah. Okay.
Well, you see, dear brother, in a city full of thieves, the truth is more powerful than you know.
Blink, blink. Look around.
The door is open. You're not chained to the table, and there's a fuck ton of food in front of you.
How long have I been out?
About 10 minutes.
Oh, he's just actually asking that? As he's coming to his senses.
Yeah, about 10 minutes.
A bit. I did a full interview. I told him what happened at the warehouse.
Including the whole, and he like makes a noose around his neck motion.
No. He hasn't let go of his arm this entire time. Like there's a possibility there's a little bit of blood at this point.
Did you pick up the paper yet?
Sockham's like grabbing it while he's telling Rock what happened.
Yeah, it's like signed. It's got the seal of Waterdeep on it. It's like a performing permit.
And now I get to sing for money.
Right. I think he just picks up the sandwich that he was previously eating, takes a bite.
Okay.
So if we're free to go, then
There's more food on the table than when you lost consciousness.
part of him, like the survival instinct in him is to bag it and go.
Does Sockham still have his backpack?
Yeah.
He
The
just
only thing-
kind of.
Like, your weapons were brought in with the dude, and they were put down, like, by the door.
Sockham would really quickly, like, raise the backpack to the table and start shoveling in cheese and fruit.
Yeah.
Are you gonna
Fair
help
enough.
me?
Fair
Are you
enough.
gonna help me or what, Rockham?
Yeah, I'll help him because
Okay.
who knows when we'll be able to pay for food next.
Yeah. And then the two of you, like, exit the Hall of Justice.
That backpack is gonna stink in a couple hours.
Yes, it is.
There's not gonna be any food left in a couple hours.
In fairness, it stinks already. It's a Goliath's backpack.
Yeah, that's fair.
but yeah,
Survival of it is
so
free food.
you guys leave the Hall of Justice, and night has fallen.
Huh.
You start
Oh,
making
no.
you start making your way back to the Yawning Portal. What's up?
Hopefully Connie made it back.
What are you all knowing, Connie?
Because, Rainier said to get there before nightfall.
Okay, well, Twilight.
Okay.
I should probably head back and make sure the others made it. So,
So
That's all
Connie, like,
Let's-
what did you do to fail at getting the twins out of the thing? That's what I want to know.
Okay, so that's how that gets resolved.
Or did you just like spend like a very panicked like couple of hours? Because it's not long before Twilight. Like, because it took you a long time to go find Lawrence. Like,
Right.
do you just spend a very panicked couple of hours like pacing back and forth in the Yawning Portal? Like, does Connie just freeze?
No, she
like,
would have
oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god.
She would have gone to the thingy and tried to pay off the fine to get them out. So maybe she
Okay.
got like waylaid by some Xanathars or something?
Well, no, maybe that, because he said your fines have been paid. Maybe you did pay it.
Oh, that's a fair point.
How much gold do you have?
A lot.
How much? Okay, how much are you willing to pay?
Ah.
How deep do Daddy's pockets run?
Because if anybody playing along at home hasn't realized it yet, the guard has a personal stake in this. Like, he was lying to Salcom. But Connie could have also, on the level, released them and got everything paid for, and the dude just used that to his advantage.
I mean, she wouldn't have just handed them a random amount of gold. They would have asked how much the exact fine was.
Right. Well, the total fines that they have, providing they're not being, like, grilled, which they weren't, is about, like, 600 gold. But then also the permit would be another 100 gold on top of that.
Oh, good lord. Let me do some math.
Okay. It's 70 platinum, if you want to do it that way.
I think she'd be more concerned about getting them out now and deal with the permit later.
Okay. So 600.
So 60 platinum?
60 platinum, yeah. So I think the twins come outside, and Connie is like, "Yay, I did it!" And they're like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" Like, that whole thing.
Here to rescue you. And by rescue, I mean pay off.
Brayden, have you thought of your questions yet?
Aye.
Okay, what do you got?
Asking about, like, jobs or contracts that might be floating around for someone such as Braden's handiwork.
For what specific? Like for stealing contracts?
For either stealing contracts. Aye.
Make a another investigation check for me. The big payout that everybody in the underworld is looking for right now is the Dragon Vault. Nobody really knows what it is, but there's something called the Dragon Vault that, like, people are like, man, I'll just get the vault and get paid. But, like, nobody's
winning the lottery.
Nobody's talking about it openly. Aside from that, like, yeah, if you want side quests to go do thief work, like, give me a week and I'll get back to you. But yeah, you can take them, sure.
And my last one would be about the castle, Neverember.
Castle Neverember?
Aye, Castle Neverember.
Castle Waterdeep?
No, it was
or Neverember, a manor.
The place that Rainier walked past
That's Daggle Neverember's estate, but he basically is never there. He lives in Neverwinter.
Uh-huh. I was more asking about that, if there's, like, any possible way in.
There's a possible way in. You have a signet ring in your pocket.
I'm more talking less legal ways.
Well, no, like you would be told, like, unless you don't show them that, like, you would be told, like, anybody affiliated with Neverember's family can hang out there, but it's watched by his enemies.
Right.
You could just walk in. Not only could you just walk in, the staff would serve you. But it's not secure.
Okay.
Yeah, it says in my notes, anybody affiliated with Rainier, he invites them to just go stay at the estate, but he won't. That's why you have the signet ring. So yeah. Is it fair to say we crossfade to all 5 of you back in the portal, sitting around the table, and, like...
I'm fine with that.
Okay. So you guys come back to the yawning portal, you're sitting around the table. Connie, like, you still look distraught, probably because of what Rainier told you.
No, Connie would have told him, no, we gotta get to the safe house by this point.
You gotta meet Lawrence first.
I thought...
No, he told Lawrence to go to the yawning portal, because he can't tell him anything's wrong.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right, so yawning portal, waiting for Lawrence.
Okay, so then we crossfade to en route to Rainier's safe house?
Speaking of which, where is it?
I don't know specifically. It's probably somewhere in the dock ward. It makes the most sense.
Gotcha.
So the five of you walking down the street towards Rainier's safe house by way of Connie Sirige's exposition.
And then I ran into Rainier, and I told him what happened, and then I went to go pay off the thingy, and, point being is everything is screwed.
So yeah, Lawrence, you were apprised of everything except what Braden did.
And Lawrence is just face palming, like, God damn it, I can't leave you guys alone for 5 seconds.
In my defense, I tried to bail them out, but that didn't work.
So on your...
Braden's nose is like, how many times do I need to tell you, Sock? Shut it!
So on the way to Rainier's safe house, you guys are just like walking down the street, and you hear someone say, like shout, like, that's the last straw, you're not coming back in here, and just throw something out their door. Just like hurl it out.
Wait,
like it like bounces into the street.
I mean,
the door slams.
This wouldn't be the first time Lawrence has probably encountered that, so he'd glance up and then keep walking if it didn't really pique his interest.
Okay. Anybody can make a perception check that wants to.
Mm-hmm.
Salk, you have disadvantage because you're chugging down cheese and fruit.
He disconnected.
Well, he has disadvantage, so it's fine. Okay.
Perception.
That's actually perfect. So all of you notice, but Rockham, it actually, like, you pause as this, like, thoroughbred, like, hunting dog, like, starts to, like, pick itself up off the street. It's like a big dog. It's like some kind of shepherd.
Oh, like...
Beautiful
There's
animal, like
probably some
glossy
sort of hand
black
signal you
fur.
see.
What's up?
Probably some sort of hand signal you see. There's like, wait up a sec.
Does the pupper seem okay?
And the pupper just got thrown about 20 feet, so no.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk over and make sure it's not like has a broken leg or something.
No, it stands up, but it's doing that thing where it's like about to go back towards the building.
Yeah, Connie's in vet mode too.
You know,
Yeah, if they're moving, that would get Lawrence's attention. Then
I want to make my approach slow so I don't seem threatening. But
He growls at you.
so I'll reach him my bag and take out a piece of food or something and toss it toward him.
Make a nature check.
Mm-hmm.
It does that thing where it like pulls the food toward it, growls at you like fuck you, and then picks up the food. And it starts to like run off with it.
Hold out another piece of food in my hand.
It stops.
I have my arm like stretched out. toward it,
Connie,
but the
how
piece of
close
food
are you
is-
to Rockham at this point?
Pretty close.
It looks at you and bares its teeth.
Easy.
I'll
Take
just-
it easy.
You may want to back up for a minute.
This is not a small dog. Like this is like picture like a full-blooded adult German Shepherd.
big dog.
Big boy. Or girl. Haven't seen yet.
Little bit malnourished. It's at that growth stage where it's got the adult body, but it hasn't lost the puppy ears yet.
Oh.
No.
Its ears are too big for its head. Its paws are a little bit too big.
Yeah, like.
Can I
hands
see
in-
a collar on it or anything?
Not anymore. You can see where the fur used to have a collar on it.
Basically signal like stay back a bit. That way it doesn't. Because there was a giant group of us trying to get close to him. That might seem threatening.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just sit down wherever I am, holding the food out.
Yeah, the crowd like fades into the background as the camera focuses on Rock and this dog. Make another nature check.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't come toward you.
I take it you're lost.
It looks back at the house.
I think what I'll do is whatever like ration or whatever I was taking the food
Trace,
from.
can you pull Genzi down, please? Thank you.
So whatever like ration or whatever it was I was taking food from, I'll set the whole thing up for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll go up to the house, knock on the door.
Okay, you knock on the door. There's like angry footsteps. Door flies up. This like red-faced, like 40-year-old human man like throws open the door. What?
I see you've been having some animal issues.
You with the watch?
No?
You
just
selling
looking to help.
something?
Looking to help mostly.
Door slams in the face.
I just turn back to the dog and stick a thumb towards the door. Kind of sucks, huh?
Make a nature
Walk
check.
back over. Come on.
I think
My
like,
inspiration
you-
still have like effect from last time.
you would have had inspiration from earlier, so.
I want to use it there to
Okay.
reroll question mark.
Oh no, you take the other roll. It's fine. It's a good roll.
Okay.
So you say like kind of sucks, and I point to the door, and the dog like gets up and like wags its tail a little bit.
Oh. Again, slowly, I'm gonna reach my hand out so we can sniff it.
I mean, it's
Walk back
down in
over
the
first.
street. You like, so you walk down
Yeah, I'll walk
down the steps, back out into the street. It sniffs your hand, and then it like leans over and like sniffs your quiver.
Mhm.
And it does that German Shepherd thing of like ear perk head tilt. And looks at you. If you want to give it a command, you can.
I think his command would be like sit.
It sits.
Pat him a bit. Basically,
Sockham
while I'm
laugh-
petting him, looking him over just to make sure he's alright.
Sockham laughs. My brother's a princess.
Make make a medicine or heal. I don't know what it's called in 5e. Check
Medicine.
medicine. No, this dog is not okay. It's
Just hungry or
it's underfed. It's like atrophied. Like it hasn't been worked to the way a working breed needs to. And it's skittish, very skittish.
If
I
you want an
think,
animal friendship, I can help you out there.
is that a thing
or
you
a-
can do?
Or a heal for that matter.
It doesn't also need
Yeah.
hit points. It just needs to. It
Yeah.
needs better care.
Honestly, I think
So,
this guy
looking
just
at the
needs...
house, like the house is like a 2-story like city house. Like it's not big enough for a big dog like this.
Yeah. Honestly, I think he just needs some care and maybe a bit more food. Pat behind the ears a little bit.
Now, when you say food, the dog goes. "Arf."
And I'll get one more out for him, and then I'll feed him again later if he follows.
Buffer wants some salami and steak.
So
Frankly, Sockham would have tossed him some hawk of meat from the backpack.
if you
There you go.
want it, you have a like hunting dog animal companion.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll make a note.
Now here's the real question:
use
what's its
the
name?
you can use the mastiff rules.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'll give you a character card for it later.
Yeah. And basically, after I feed him a bit more, I'll see if he's willing to follow me.
First of all, it's a sheep, but
Gotcha.
Yeah.
See if she's willing to follow me.
yeah, yep. Trot happily after you.
Cool. Well, it seems we have a new friend.
Looks like it.
This dog is almost big enough for Pierce to ride.
Given what happened last time the watch thought we had an animal, we should probably get some tags for that.
Sockham raises his new permit.
You don't just tag an animal.
That's true. What's its name gonna be, Rock?
Lawrence looking over, like,
Or not
I think I
tags,
could
but like
think something.
whatever legal nonsense hoops we gotta jump through to keep.
I mean, you don't live here, so as long as you, like, keep it on a lead, it's probably fine.
Okay.
So get a lead.
Yeah, probably.
I have rope.
You do have rope.
I mean, I suppose
Well-
that could work.
While there's talking about this, I imagine Sockham's like fiddling with the rope and the machete. It's not a good collar, but it's something you can use. If he's okay with it. The dog.
She.
Well, the Sockham I don't think knows that yet, so he's just hitting every basis, so he's not wrong.
Nah, yeah, I think we're
One of these.
One of these things is correct, but I don't know which.
The dog actually identifies as they, and that's the only joke I'm gonna make in that regard.
Yep. Question is, what should we name you? As I'm like petting her or someone.
It's like a jet black, like German Shepherd allegory.
Meanwhile, Braden's trying his best not to squee over the dog.
Trying to think a name that Rockham would think of, because something like Susie probably isn't gonna be Rockham's thing.
No.
I'll think of.
Tiny.
I'd be something. I really think it should be something giantess, but like, that's just me in this.
So I think in the next scene, the dog has like a rope collar that Rock is holding. Yeah. So you guys crossfade to like coming up on Rainier's safe house. It's the apartment that you saw before, Braden. Like you recognize it pretty quickly when you get there. Yeah, night's fallen at this point. Do you just go up to the door, or?
As we're like walking past one of the windows, Braden would probably like knock on it.
Knock on the window?
Aye.
You knock on the window, and then you hear the doorknob rattle, and then the lock click, but nothing else happens.
And let Braden know, like walk in.
As you open the door, and there's like just long enough for you to realize, like, yeah, okay, you see Rainier like standing behind the door with a crossbow, and he sees it's you, and he puts it down.
Right.
And you step inside. Do all of you go in?
Oh yeah.
The dog
Yeah.
immediately lunges at Rainier.
I'll pull the leash.
Like, not like I'm gonna tear your throat out, but just like, new friend! Like,
Oh, okay. In that case, it's fine.
I mean, you say that, but Rainier like jumps back like it's a rat. Like, yeah! Like,
He's fine. He's fine.
you didn't have that last time.
That's
Why
a
do
good
you have
friend.
that?
She's a good girl, and you will love her, Rainier. Trust me, I love her, and I just met her today.
You bought a dog?
I didn't think of the name.
You
Think
bought
of
a
us as
dog.
buying
He
more
looks at
adopt.
Connie like, really?
Got thrown out of a window. We wanted to make sure it was okay.
Is it?
And I adopted it.
Is
He
it
would just
okay?
say,
Right. Rainier like reaches past whoever came in last and locks the door. And he says, "So, we're taking a dog into the sewers with us, are we? All right."
I guess it's a good thing we waited on the bath.
Speaking of, is it big enough down there for gestures to himself and Rockham?
No, but we'll make do.
Fair enough.
And it leads you over to like a table where he's laid out a map. And he says, "Right. We're all here, no other surprises, you weren't followed. The Black Viper is not going to come smashing through my window, is she?"
Braden looks a little bit concerned.
Like,
Kinda
none of you have
calculated.
context for that name except Braden. And maybe Lawrence.
And Lawrence
I
would
don't
raise an eyebrow like.
I don't think
is
Vipers
there
would do
something
very
we
well
should-
in a city. Unless you mean the politicians.
She does quite well in the city, but never mind. We're all here then, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Connie, did you go back to the portal or did you just wait outside?
Hmm.
You just waited outside. Okay, cool. So he leans over the map. He says, "All right, we need to go into the city sewers. Luckily, myself and Mr. Coy know the way. There's going to be resistance, to put it mildly. Like as not, they'll have redoubled their efforts since my failed infiltration last night. We have to get Floon."
Lawrence would, give Braden a look and look at Rainier like, right, why am I surprised?
Any questions? Anything to raise before we go into the lion's den?
If
Well,
there's
let's
not enough,
maybe not use the same entrance we used last time.
Because that's the only entrance, at least the only one I know.
What did you run into last time?
Big thing, big armor, big axe.
An orcish blackguard, to put it simply.
Oh, goody.
if there's not enough room for these two, I take it there won't be enough room for, say, a bear.
As I said, we'll make do. He stops. He's like looking. Mind you, it's not very well lit in this like dishonored, rundown, drop cloth room, but like he can't see in the dark, so he's lit some lanterns. And he stops halfway through answering. He looks at Brockham, and he says, like he just stops talking, and he goes over and he like grabs you, and like forcefully, but not like I'm gonna hurt you. He tries to like push you down so that he can see above you.
I'll just kind of move out of his way, thinking he's trying to
No,
see
no,
behind
he's
me.
looking at you. He needs to get, like, he wants you to go down.
Do you mind me asking what this is about?
Your eyes.
You're not my type.
And he keeps, like, pushing on your shoulder. Can you resist him?
Yeah, I'll like squat down slightly.
Yeah, you go down, like, to a knee, and he, like, leans over. He says, "Pass me that light, Miss Serges."
There you go.
And you take the lantern. And yeah, Rock, he, like, puts the lantern, like, right in your eyes. Like looks in your eyes. And he says, "Damn it! Who drugged you?"
And Lawrence
not
would
sure
look
who-
over like, excuse me?
I think he would explain the food, but he's not exactly sure who made the food, so.
He
Socks bad acid this morning, if that's what you mean.
He sets the... He looks at you like, "What the fuck did you say?" as he's setting the lantern down. And he says, "I thought you were an herbalist." You, Connie.
I don't feel weird at all, do I?
Hello?
I mean,
Hello?
Go ahead, Connie.
I thought they seemed a little sluggish when they got out of the thing, but I thought they were just drinking in there or something.
What did you...
Something loose lips, something ships.
Yes, quite literally. What did they ask you?
I mean, I'll be honest, I kind of spaced out.
It's like reflexively like putting a hand on a sword. What do you mean you spaced out?
There was a sandwich, I took a bite while we were waiting to be questioned, and then we were free.
He just like smacks the table with both hands and swears.
The leash hand tightens ever so slightly.
You don't remember anything.
What I remember, we were there, my brother talked to them for a bit, and then we left.
He sighs. What did you say?
I look over at Sockham, and I'm like, Yamsi's back.
Well, I told them only what I know, and it was the truth.
You told them the truth.
And you know quite a bit.
Wonderful.
I do know quite a bit, but here's the thing. I did not at the time. It's hard to explain, but I wasn't thinking right.
Magic. Anyone here with magic?
And Lawrence
Raise
would
his hand.
definitely would light up.
Define magic.
I mean, I know magic.
We need to make certain nothing is wrong with them. That they are them.
I can detect poisons, if that's what you mean.
What do you need?
And to you, Lawrence, as if you understand, he says, Gaia shape-changing, mind scrying.
Right.
While
Connie,
Sakam
I
is
think that'd be
chewing on a
more
hunk
your-
Make an
of
Arcana
cheddar.
check, because you might not know what he means.
I've got
Okay,
a I've got a less restoration if that would work.
While Sakam takes a bite out of a hunk of cheddar. It was probably the food.
Yeah, he used a lot of really high-end words. You know magic intrinsically. You don't know magic formulaically, which is what he said.
Ah, okay.
Would I have understood any of that after hanging out with Pierce so much?
You would have understood scrying. I doubt you would have understood Gaius.
Gaius. Will have you know I like women. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm guessing gonna. Who of the two seems more out of it?
Heavily drugged? Salcom.
Sockum. I'm gonna lesser restoration Sockum.
Okay. Salk, you feel fine. You feel normal. You felt normal before. You should still feel normal.
Takes another bite of the cheese.
Make a
Does he
constitution
feel
saving throw.
What?
Make a constitution
Stop
saving
eating
throw.
that!
Bit late.
Smack it out of his hands.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah. So,
Hey, does this mean the pupper's drugged too?
possibly. It improved its relations to Rockham, so, you know.
Well,
Wait, if I'm feeding myself now, who is it improving the reputation? Am I learning to love myself?
it's not magic, it's poison, effectively. So
Learning to love yourself with food. A book
it just
by
lowers your
Safari.
inhibitions, makes you more trusting.
Stop eating that! You're making me waste my spells here!
So Rainier sighs. He says, "You two are staying above ground."
Do I get to keep the cheese?
and
No.
Lawrence would actually just facepalm at that, just like, oh, god damn it.
The
I'm
last
gonna
thing
look
we
over at Connie.
and he looks at you, Lawrence. He says, "The last thing we need is them turning into Zants when we're backed into a corner."
Agreed,
Zat.
unfortunately.
Connie.
Yeah.
If we stay up here, I can't protect you down there.
I
So if
noticed.
anything happens, if it'll make everyone feel safer, I'll do it. But
Like you
I'd
guys
rather
can
go
go against Rainier's wishes. Like he.
hence why I'm referring to the group on this one.
Mhm.
I mean,
I'm inclined to use. Hang on, how many spell slots of that do I have?
I would, like,
Fine.
legit look at Rainier, like, do we need to send them back to the portal and make them stay?
Frankly, Rainier, I think you should at least take Rockham. When he began eating, he just zoned out.
Yes, that's what I'm afraid of. Do you remember at all what you told them? What they asked you?
Yes. Yes, I actually remember quite a bit.
Go on.
They asked us we were supposed to meet you, and I told them that all I knew is we were supposed to meet at the portal. And he said he wanted to step back a bit and asked how we met you. I gave him the full, rather abridged, somewhat truth.
Isn't that an oxymoron?
I think Rainier like shushes you,
almost-
Connie. Like waves a hand at you, like. Mm. And he's
And-
like hanging on every of Salcom's words.
I told them the state we found you in, and I told them why. He seemed more interested at the fact that I got stabbed with a casket full of glass than there were chicken men coming after you.
Closer to Raven men, but go on.
Still, he was less surprised that the birds were coming for you than
There's a significant percentage of them in Waterdeep, yes.
the barrel. Anyway, he didn't even do anything about the whole Xanathar sends its regards comment either. So apparently that's normal too? Or am I... like...
what did he seem interested in?
What was that? I didn't hear you.
What did he seem interested in?
He was interested in anything revolving around you. He would ask specific details about what you did and whatnot, and frankly, he brought up two things that rather concern me.
Everyone sees Rainier reach for his sword.
3 or 4, actually. 3 or 4
Rapier,
things.
pardon me.
He brought up orbs, keys, a vault, and
Braden immediately perks up when he hears vault.
and he knew about the encounter with the watch.
As a side note for the GM, just in case it happens.
Yep.
If he goes for like sword out toward Sockham, I'm tackling him. Just being
Wait,
ready
hold
for
on. What was that about a vault?
Roll initiative, Brightwind.
that. Yeah.
Oh, hell.
In case it happens.
Roll initiative.
Mhm.
Okay.
After-
He outrolled you.
Okay.
So this is how it goes down. When Sockham says the word orb, Rainier vaults the table and kicks him in the chest and knocks the wind out of him. At the same time, Rock, you go for Rainier, you let go of the dog, and the dog, like a missile, hits Rainier, knocks him to the ground, and starts like biting him.
I'm gonna grab the leash and basically get him a few inches away from Rainer.
The dog's like,
Now, hold
"Rah, rah,
on.
rah," like barking
Hold
and
on.
like lunge, doing that like 4-leg lunge at Rainier. Rainier's like holding his bleeding arm. He says, "Don't finish that sentence."
I'm gonna try
Right.
and calm the dog down.
Understood. Sockham tosses him one of his healer's kits.
And he takes it, starts like wrapping his arm in bandages. Has
Yeah,
that dog been?
I apologize. I
Is
didn't.
that dog well? Do I need to get this cleaned?
I would see a doctor at some point.
Miss Serges?
Touche.
Right, so on one hand, I do want to heal him. On the other hand, I'm trying to save my spells for whatever nonsense we're going to find in the sewer.
I mean, I
Right.
can detect poison later. It's fine.
I mean,
I
I can always
he didn't take hit point damage. He just has like a dirty bite wound now.
Gotcha. Medkit time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Rainier.
gonna clean that
Rainier.
out.
He's like sitting on the floor. He exhales and he says, and he looks at Salcom and he gives him that face like all you're allowed to do is nod or shake your head. He says, he asked you about a key.
Sockham has this face like he doesn't know how to answer. He wants to make this face like sort of.
Yeah. Roll persuade. Let's see if you can get your point across.
Or I was gonna say perform, honestly. But
Interpretive dance.
Yeah, right.
Does that little hand wave thing,
Yeah.
like the
yeah.
teeter-totter motion?
Yeah, exactly. So he sighs and he nods. He says, "Right, we need to find Floon. We need to find Floon right now. Floon needs to be alive, and we need to find him and get him away from the Xanathar." Like, he's less put together than you've ever seen him. Like, in 3 days squatting in a closet hiding from Kenku, he was more put together than he is right now. Like,
and to the grip, I say, "Am I staying here?"
No, you're coming. I cast Lesser Restoration.
I don't know if
Loon.
I feel any different.
you don't think any different. We need to find Floon. We need to get Floon. We need to get him out of there and get everything away.
Yes, we do. Let's go.
Like, he's
Rainier,
like
A question that
he flinches when you say his name.
there's one more thing I want to mention, if I may.
You see him like inhale, like, oh fuck.
He asked after he began explaining why they wanted you. He didn't use your name. He said Lord Embershard.
No, he said Lord
whatever.
Neverember. He said
Lord
Lord
Neverember.
Lord Neverember. And he sighs.
He didn't use your name
Stop
ever.
talking.
Does the Avengers Endgame Thor double thumbs up?
We need to have that conversation about discretion sooner rather than later. We need to find someplace quiet, and we need to get Floon there.
Agreed.
He's like shaking as you like finish bandaging his arm.
Meanwhile, I'm petting dog.
Mr. Coy,
Alright.
can you find that place on your own?
The entrance? Yep.
He nods. Floon looks like me. Can you find him?
Shouldn't be too difficult to find someone else with red hair in the sewers.
He nods. Good. I'll go and find a quiet place. Go talk to Abaya or Durnan once you find Floon. Once he's alive, don't bother trying to find me if he's dead.
Duly noted.
And he looks at you, Connie, and says, bring him back.
I intend to.
I'll leave word at the portal where to bring him. Get him healed first. We'll worry about that second. Master Parnassus, you might be late for work tomorrow.
Just what have you gotten us into, Rainier?
What?
Just what have you gotten us into?
Not
I
here.
I
didn't know
mean, we
what you
kind of
were.
got ourselves into it.
Not here.
So Braden like claps his hands like, right, let's go save a man then.
Lead
Yes,
the
sir.
way.
Very good. And, Mr. Coy.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank me when we bring him back alive.
Very well. Remember. And he looks like he's panicking. Like he's physically panicking. He looks you dead in the eye, Braden, and he says, everything in Waterdeep goes back to dragons.
Can I figure out what he means by that yet?
Make an insight check with disadvantage.
Oh boy.
It's like,
Meanwhile, I'm coming up with names for the doggo.
No. It's like... Have you ever taken an assassination, Braden? Have you ever taken a hit?
no.
Okay. Have you ever taken a, like, shakedown? Have you ever had to intimidate someone for money?
I would say yeah.
Okay. The look on Rainier's face is exactly, when he says that to you, is exactly the same face that someone makes when they says, I swear I don't have any more. It's identical to that, but you don't know what he's trying to tell you.
I look at him with a confused face, like, I don't know what you mean by that.
He doesn't register, he's panicking, so I think he stands up. He says, right, safe house, yawning portal, throws a cloak on, and out the door he goes. Leaving you guys with a map of the sewers and a few supplies if you need them.
Cool. What supplies do we have?
There's 20 extra feet of rope. 100 extra feet of rope. Two coils of rope. There's 1 grappling hook, 4 pythons, and 10 torches.
I'm taking the
Grappling hook?
Nope, too late. I called it. I'm taking it.
Yeah, exactly. Just give all the gear to Braden.
What they don't know is I already have a grappling hook.
Rope, torches,
Actually, they probably-
pythons,
Hook.
grappling hook.
Yep. And the map of the sewers.
Okay.
So,
Now we do
mine.
get. Now, do we get to see this map?
I don't have it. There will be a battle map when you get to the area.
Gotcha.
Just as an in-character note, Rockman would want to, like, whoever holds the map, that's fine. He would at least want to see the map so he can have an image of it in his head. Should it come
It's
up.
currently pinned to the table, so you all can take a look at it, and
Okay.
you guys can take a few minutes to, like, plan your move now.
There we go.
Yeah.
Lawrence would be looking the map over and just offhandedly mention, it's like, I have an extra lantern if we need it.
Good to know.
Well, seeing as this how you can't see in the dark, we'll need it. Because it's
How many of
very
us
dark
can
down
see
there.
in the dark?
2.
Hmm.
Brayden and Connie. Connie can see perfectly in the dark. Brayden can mostly see in the dark.
Can't help but wonder if there's things to... Like, I don't think he'd know about the magic items that make you see in the dark, so I think he'd say if there's, like, an herb or something that can help with that.
Make a nature
Also
check,
looking
Connie.
at Connie.
Nature check?
Yeah.
Because I don't think Rockham's mind would go straight to magic item, so...
You could probably mix up a poultice that would give someone, like, low light vision, but not dark vision.
I could mix something together that would probably help, but
It would
take
also
time.
take you most of the night.
Yeah, I don't have time to do that right now, but I can prep some for later.
Good to know for the future.
It's like Braden standing over the map, you'll like point to a bit on it, it's like, we need to enter here. There isn't really much of a choice on that one.
Aye.
And you'll like explain that it's quite narrow down there from what small amount you had went.
Yeah, the most of the tunnels are about 6 feet tall, so the twins could barely stand up in them. But there are places where there's like a foot shorter. So, and especially at the beginning of, especially where you fought the orc, you're going to be single file.
Yeah. Yeah, Braden
And
would,
they
like,
know you're
convey that,
coming.
but it's-
And you know that they know that you're coming.
Yeah.
So plan accordingly.
Worst thing they know is that we're coming. So heavy hitter in front, probably Rockham at the back so that you can just shout duck and fire.
You want
I
I
will
can...
endeavor not to hit anyone.
No, wait, I used my other spell slot. Never mind. I was going to cast Pass Without a Trace, but that's a dud now.
Right.
So,
Lawrence can fire long range too, thankfully.
you would be... anybody shooting would be dependent on where you are in the stack. If you're shooting from the back, if you're shooting with more than 2 people in front of you, you're going to have disadvantage.
Okay.
Right.
I'm fine with dealing with disadvantage, so...
So I would probably suggest Sockham and Lawrence, because they've got like the biggest heft.
Unless Connie's a bear.
Unless
Or
Connie's a
what-
bear.
I'm taking a look through my form, see what's practical.
Theoretically, you could turn into a bug, go around and bear or something.
That's
Also
true.
possible.
You could rar bomb.
Rar
Rar
bomb.
bomb.
Gives him either turn drop bear.
Yes.
This is provided your ability works that way.
What's up, Sock? You can speak. What's
Aye.
up?
He can't. His mum's went to bed.
Ah.
He needs to be quiet. So he's talking through roll 20.
Like, I'll let you guys take the last 15 minutes to plan, and we'll do the dungeon next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
for the sake of marching order, I'm okay being in the back. I can try and do less strikes, but take more time with them as well. I don't know if it works that way in 5e, but
It
that's
does
the way
not.
he'd say it. Okay.
Well, you would probably be better at like third then, so that you can actually have like decent shots.
Fair enough.
Honestly, like, what's your health pool compared to mine, Rock?
I don't know a way to say it in character, but is it alright to say it out of character?
Yeah, go ahead.
28.
Okay, so you can still take more of a beating than I can.
Yeah.
So maybe you in front of me.
Okay, I can do that. I want to write this down. This is like one of those like not English, one of those like school tests you get, like blank is in front of blank, but behind 2 blank.
Yeah, I'm literally just gonna sit back and let you guys plan how you want to do this, because Brayden has been down there. So
Yeah.
I'm here to answer questions, but this is this is literally like the heist scene. Like, you guys are standing around the table in this like abandoned building, looking at this map by candlelight as the sun fades in Waterdeep. Like, the floor is yours. I'm here to answer questions. That's it. Go.
I do have a request, I suppose.
Hey, Sock, you're full health as far as I know.
Yeah, Sog, you healed overnight from sleeping, and then you also got your HP for leveling up, and then you burned your hand, but then Connie healed you for more than you took. You should be at full
Yeah.
health.
My request is maybe we could bring our tokens out and put them single file, as it were.
We'll do that
So
on the
it's
actual
easier to-
map next week.
Okay.
This is just
I
for
have
you
a
guys
question.
to plan
Visualize.
stuff. Yeah.
I have a question, Kitsune.
Yo.
So giant spiders are a large creature.
Correct.
Could I fit in the sewers if I was on the wall instead of the floor?
No, because it is a circle. You could fit, but you would have the exact same problem as being a bear.
Because I was thinking we could set up some web traps or something.
You could.
'Cause I would suggest Braden like going first and like scouting ahead if they didn't already know we're coming.
They know you're coming. They don't know when.
Aye. So I could Braden could be like in front and like sneak up and scout and then come back and say, right, we've got this guy coming up.
The problem with that.
Order.
The problem with that, to consider, Braden, is if you get dragged around a corner and blackjack, nobody knows.
Yeah.
That's the risk of being a rogue.
Yep.
Is it single
I suppose
file
I could
the
always
entire
have
way?
Connie
It is not
on
single
my
file the entire way. It is single file up as far as Braden got.
Ah.
Okay.
Braden got stopped fairly quickly by a giant orc in plate mail.
Yeah.
Which that's a thing you might want to tell the guys about, by the way.
Yeah, we had already said to them that we ran into the orc.
Yeah. Brief, like passively. You haven't mentioned like there's a plate mail clad like champion in there.
How do we want to deal with that?
With great difficulty.
Carefully.
He has
Well,
advantage.
wait.
He has advantage fighting solo 1-on-1 against you guys.
What's
Yep.
up, Sopho?
I could turn into a centipede and try and get under his plate.
You could.
That's
I was
not
also
a bad
going to
idea.
say burn him alive in his own armor.
Does anybody have heat metal?
Yes, actually.
I mean,
Is it
if I hit
prepared
him with
for
enough
today?
fire,
Let me take a look.
I'm curious what Sockham's got.
I mean, I hit him with fire knife. I think that'd cook him, wouldn't it?
It would do some damage. Heat metal is
wouldn't.
constant.
There's a difference between, searing something and essentially boiling them like a lobster.
Yeah, like
But with
like
metal.
heat metal literally like does damage every round you're in contact with the metal.
Right, but that's a touch, isn't it?
Nope.
Whoever's up front is gonna
Oh,
take
well.
tank. and
Heat
be
metal.
I did
Heat
not.
metal is extremely situational, but it's also complete horseshit when it works.
It's one of those spells.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I did not prep it.
Damn.
Bugger.
Now, if I'm gonna, this is a serious question. If I'm gonna be in the back, in case the worst happens, does somebody else want my healing potion?
Might be a good idea.
As if one of you in the front goes down, whoever's next to him should be the one to get him back up.
Well, it's single file at first. It might let split into 2x2 later on.
Sure, but you can't. You don't know when that's gonna be.
That's why I said
You know,
it
we
might.
need to plan for one by one for now.
Yeah.
Brandon at the front as a scout. Oh, Brandon. Derp.
Brandon.
Who's Brandon? At the front as a scout. Sock is front man. Beetle Connie. So I could give Sockham the necklace if we're gonna do Beetle Connie. Just so you have a place to store.
Why are
I
you
guess,
doing
as well.
Beetle Connie? That's gonna cost her a form.
I figured I
Sure.
could do some recon.
Well, Braden's
Aye, 'cause
doing
it-
recon. So then Braden
Aye,
should
but-
have Beetle Connie.
I was going to say I have Beetle Connie, so if I get like
If you go
Okay,
down, I
I've got
can either
cornered.
A, try and heal you, or B, go tell the other.
Or C, protect.
Yeah.
Also that.
Protect, make lots of noise so we know where you are.
But the other thing to think about, Connie, and this is really important for you, it took both of your forms to tank that troll.
Right.
Your beetle has 1 HP.
So if I get hit by an AoE, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not done because I have the other form, but you know what I mean.
Yep.
Basically, you have to decide what your first form is.
So
gonna
yeah,
be
like if
as.
you want to go in as beetle, that's fine, but it's costing you one of your 2 forms.
I've already used 2 of my second.
branches
I've already
later
used
on.
both my second level spell slots because of those heals.
And maybe you should stay as Connie for a while.
Her
I guess
spells
so.
are irrelevant to her animal form.
I meant because
No, but I
some
need to do
upper-
something when the animal form is gone.
True.
Good lord, this is complicated.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I'm fine being toward the back end. I can deal with this advantage.
Like, I was there for the prep for this, and I'm still flabbergasted.
You're welcome. I did good.
You did.
Oh, this is gonna be tricky.
Flabbergasted? Flummoxed? What's the word I'm looking for? One of those weird words.
Gobsmacked.
Perplexed.
Perplexion's a good word. I was gonna say, if you want to be Beetle Connie and be like Brayden's like safeguard, that's fine, but it's going to cost you a tank form.
Okay.
Now, as a side note, as much as I mean, I guess he would be fine with the idea. I can lend, if you two are gonna go scouting, I can lend one of you my horn. It would take you a while to attune to it.
Do we
And you
have
can
time?
use it. That's the question. I don't remember how long it takes to attune.
An hour.
An hour.
And if we want to sit around for an hour,
That's an hour extra the enemy gets to prepare, though.
True.
sure. But if you guys run into shit and we can't find you,
Floon
you
could
can use
die
that.
in that time. Like Floon could be bleeding out right now. Like
He could be dead by now for all we know.
true. It's been 4 days.
Yeah.
They've had him for
Some have
4 days.
resurrection. I'm sure someday in the Yawning Portal would probably know resurrection.
I don't have to use my bow. Plus, my bow is large. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to fire it very well down there.
You'll have disadvantage.
Yeah, but technically, I already
So
would
you'll have
have.
disadvantage regardless, so you being at the back would be fine.
Yeah. Or I could bring out my short sword or a spear, and be at the front.
How tanky are you?
28 HP.
Compared to Salk and Connie.
Yeah, Connie is probably the most tanky.
Connie is by
got
far the
31.
most tanky.
Yeah, just by
Uh-huh.
having those forms.
Connie has twice as much HP as Salk.
Wow.
Actually, almost 3 times.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my tanky forms won't fit.
The question is, are we going in loud or quiet?
Quiet at first, if everything goes to shit, just loud.
You should probably be toward the front to scout.
Some of us will be loud to give the quiet people an opportunity to sneak attack.
Let's see, Brayden and Connie toward the front, I guess.
So we're playing Payday, okay then.
Yeah.
Just to clarify, what happens if I do turn into a bear in a medium-sized hallway?
You get stuck.
You'd get stuck.
Okay.
But I would say it would be like a don't roll a 1 like perception check to make sure that you can fit. You'd know.
Okay.
Like under duress, it would be more difficult to tell, but like this is your life. Like you go in animal form a lot, so you could tell
But
by
I
look.
wouldn't, like, take suffocation damage or something.
I mean, if you were in like a 5x5 metal cage and you turned into a kraken, yes, you would take suffocation damage. If
But
you
for a bear in a sewer, I would just
if
be
you were in a 6-foot round tunnel and you turned into a black bear, no, you would not take suffocation damage.
Now, more getting on the grid finagling. Can we squeeze past each other, or is it kind of stuck in? Not counting the
Probably
bear.
difficult squeezing past the Goliaths.
Yeah.
You're definitely not getting past Salk.
Uh-huh.
That you're definitely not getting past Salk. You're definitely not getting past someone who doesn't want to let you pass. So like an enemy, that's not gonna happen.
Because my other thought was, put some tanky boys out front, and then Connie can be behind them. So if they start getting down to like 1 or 2 HP, they can get behind me. I can just be a bear and be a wall while they heal.
Yeah.
That's an option.
And Braden can use his crossbow to just kind of shoot over people's shoulders.
But if I can't get past the boys in the first place, then it's kind of moot.
Yeah, like,
Like, I can be up front or in the back.
you could
I have
probably get past everyone except the twins.
Okay.
You
Lawrence,
could
do
Yeah,
you
still
have like
little bit.
ranged abilities, or is it just the hammer?
I've got my magic, so I can firebolt all day if need be.
true. He
Being
can,
in the sewers.
he can cast an aggressive spell every turn.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not bad.
And also being in the sewers, you need to worry about explosive gas.
So I think maybe
That is a point.
Yeah.
I do
Although-
have my hand axes too, so I can
I
throw
very
those and
nearly
retrieve them.
TPK'd the party by accident in another game I was running because I added too much fire damage when they lit something in the sewer.
Whoops.
Fuck 'em just have javelins, so the three of us can be.
Fireball, the whole sewer system just explodes.
Like, that's a risk, especially with Fire Knife, which explodes in an AoE.
Right, but I'd be using like firebolt.
Even still, it's a risk.
Do you have anything that isn't fire?
Yes,
like,
but they cost them an extra spell
A
slot.
crossbow or
Yeah, it would cost me.
Oh, if we had.
But as for like weapons,
Asking a
I do have
pyromancer if
hand
they have
axes.
something that isn't fire is a bit rude.
I just thought of something really rude.
Hmm?
If I had known to prepare it, I could have cast Gust of Wind, and then you can throw the fire knife and concentrate the boom in one area.
But you didn't, so.
Yeah, but that's a plan for later.
well, we need to decide on something.
Yeah, you do.
I do have hand axes I can throw.
Which
so-
you
I
would
say
have
we put the
disadvantage
twins at the
for.
back. Sockham can use his
True.
javelins until he runs out, and then we'll go from there.
So what are you gonna do
Well-
about the dog?
It's a good question.
Protect the doggo.
Yeah, like I could just tie him up here and
Yeah,
leave
you
him,
could
but
leave the
I-
dog here.
and then come back for him later.
On my honor, you're not gonna come back to the house on fire unless you knock a lamp over on your way out. Like, so
Yeah, one thing is leave
So-
the put out some water and food, and tie the dog to like somewhere safe, and just let him have some food, water, take a nap. Then come get him after we're done, if we're alive.
okay. So what about the rest of it?
I'm thinking twins at the back.
So
That
who's
sounds
at the
pretty safe to me.
front? Sock is not effective in the back.
He has
Well-
the javelins though, which
Well, okay, I thought
A
about
little
that.
bit
For
of Barty stuff, but
yeah, he does have Barty stuff. That's true. Did you take an aggressive cantrip, Sock?
in
Do you
before
do you have
Firebolt.
vicious mockery or firebolt or anything like that?
He's muted.
No,
Yeah,
he can't. He
he's
can't talk.
looking.
Oh, yeah.
He said one sec. so
But he's
looking.
certainly less effective in the back.
Dancing
for
Lights
sure.
and Presty.
So no. So yeah,
Hmm.
Sock should be up front. Now that puts a wrench in the rest of your stuff, but like Sock is not effective in the back.
He does have Charm Person if he wants to try and charm the guard.
I can
What's
choke
US?
him in range with. Yeah, what's you?
Unseen Servant. No, you can't. You can't use Unseen Servant in combat.
That's just to like bring you some water or something like that.
Yep.
Or like
Unseen Servant is very good if you need someone to hold down a lever for a puzzle.
Yeah, not so much for. Yeah,
he's
fine.
not like another NPC or something that can
Correct.
choke a bitch out, as it were. It's still handy, but
Well, in Frost Touch, too late. You chose Unseen Servant.
hey, next level now. If you get more spells.
True.
In that case, I guess Sockham and Connie at the front.
Okay.
Maybe Lawrence and Brayden behind that.
So Brayden at the
Brayden-
back.
Well, I'm thinking me at the back, but I don't know all what Brayden has skill set wise.
Stealth.
That's fair.
And a damn sight better stealth rating than any of the rest of you.
Exactly. I mean,
What do you want to do?
I mean, no matter who we put at the front, they're taking the hardest risk.
Exactly. So you should put the tank at the front.
Exactly.
The question is, do you want that to be Connie, or do you want Connie to play support?
Because if Connie tanks, Connie's
Fine
going to
going
be
up front
squished.
for scouting.
Well, Connie can squeeze past Brayden, probably.
Yeah, Connie
But
can squeeze
then-
past Brayden in Connie form.
Yeah. And then,
But if Connie wants to tank, Connie is going to be a big bear.
I mean, you can walk over Sockham, right? Wink, wink. You won't mind. He said over what in chat?
Like, yeah, so like, Connie, what do you want to do?
Ah,
I'm sure I can
The
stay-
plan hinges on what role Connie is choosing for this raid.
Yeah.
Are you going tank, heals, or DPS?
I think she's going. Let me check one last.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think she's going heals for now, and if she needs to, she'll be a Baron tank.
Then you should be at the back.
Yeah.
Or in the middle so you can touch people when they go down with Healing Word.
Yeah, definitely in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I can.
So then Salk
touch
should be in the
stuff.
front.
Yeah. So then.
Or either Salk or Braden in IMO.
I
Which
feel
one
like
of you two wants to be front?
I suppose the question is, are you alright with me going scouting and possibly just kind of disappearing for the rest of the...
It's your hide. It's your call.
Like, you could either be a badass or fuck everything up by doing this, Braden. Like, that's the...
Or
That's-
show up tomorrow. Wow. Show up next time with a new character.
Yep.
You just
That's a
get
case. It's a case of hoping that the dice will be with me.
So, what I'm hearing is Braden, Salk, Connie, Lawrence, Rock,
Yeah.
And
Thanks.
Pierce when he decides to show up.
and if Pierce shows up, yeah. I am going to make it so that Pierce comes in at the most inappropriate time possible.
Oh, yeah.
Naturally. He just lands in a puddle of sewer.
Yeah, oh yeah. Okay.
Oh.
And the plan is kill everyone?
Stealth until shit goes to hell, I guess.
Stealth until shit gets to
Save
the
your
fan.
abilities if you can. If you can't, don't hold back.
Okay.
I'm trying to accidentally catch Flu in the
Priority
crossfire.
1 is getting flown out.
Hit squad. So
Priority 1 is getting flown out.
yeah.
Yes.
Understood. I will make a note.
Alright.
Of course, something, best laid plans.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Something,
So-
plans never survive contact with the enemy.
So you guys have a week to mull this over and think about how terrible of an idea this is. In the meantime, that's all we have time for tonight. So we're gonna do some shout outs. Gamzee unfortunately cannot talk. It's about that time. So you can find Gamzee over at twitch.tv/GuyGamzee. He's a great dude. Sensational game on PlayStation Network if you want to play games with him. He's a great guy. Playing Shokum Redar Zumar and generally being an awesome dude. Go find him over at those socials. Brightwind, go!
Hi, I'm Brightman Nick. You can find me at Brightman Nick on DeviantArt, Twitter, Facebook when I rarely use it, and mostly Discord these days, hanging out in Kids Channel. Thanks for having me. And I do art stuff, but I haven't been doing a lot lately, so I'm not going to talk about that too much. So I'll get back on it sometime soon.
Gracie.
Hi, I'm Birchmilla, aka Gracie. I do a lot of table stuff and a lot of art for Kids Channel. So if you like either of those things and want some for your own, give me a
Again, hold the button down until you finish talking.
poke.
One of these days you will remember to do that, and on that day I will give you a hug.
How? You're really far away.
Watch me. Delta.
Uh-oh.
Right, I'm Delta008, your resident Mad Scotsman. You'll find me hanging around Kit's channel. If you need a hand with something, just give a holler, I'll see if I can help.
Trey Scare.
Hey, Trishka here. If you liked what you heard here tonight, I mean, I knit, I bake, and I always hang around Kids Channel. So if you need me, come find me.
And for my part, I am the sharp-eyed Kitsune, the teller of tales and the weaver of mysteries, the masked bard. This is a channel that's devoted to lore and storytelling, world-building, role-playing, and discussions of those things. So if that's to your fancy, you're in excellent company here, and I do hope that you enjoyed your time with us. You just saw Dice-Icive action into Waterdeep, featuring the KnightLites, our D&D 5th edition module double feature of Waterdeep Dragon Heist and Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Things are getting dicey as the players are discovering why the campaign is called what it is. More on that later. But I hope you guys had fun. We will be back next week at 6 p.m. established stream time for the next installment of this dungeon crawl. I will be back tomorrow celebrating the beginning of December with tabletop prep, basically all this coming week. We're going to be prepping for a myriad of campaigns, including this one, and some upcoming stuff besides. So if you want to flex those creative muscles and help out, I would love to have you. I'll be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. for precisely that. For now, it's time for me to get going, but when I do, I'll be hosting someone. It's someone who I like, someone who I hope that you all will like, and can spread some of the love that was felt here today over in their channel. And check back here, because I'm always hosting someone, and you might find your new favorite streamer that way. For now, though, as ever, it's time for me to leave you with these parting words. From myself and my keepers, and those joining me on the stage this evening, to all of you, the regulars, the followers, the newcomers, and the lurkers, whether you're just having a seat by the fire or you've got a running tab at the bar, remember, there's always more stories to tell. And hopefully, I'll see you all tomorrow as we prepare for all the things to come and write a new chapter. Good night, you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by, and hope to see you again soon.